Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination thrive. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Welcome to Thursday. Woo! 111 degrees out there today. Like I said, I felt the burn, but for some reason, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to put a finger on it this year, the heat is just not destroying me like it has every other year that I've lived in this blast furnace. It's hot. I feel it. Don't get me wrong. And I'm drinking plenty of water and plenty of electrolytes and all that stuff. I mean, at least 2 gallons a day minimum. So maybe that's why. But yeah, it is. It was 111 a day, and today was the day we did our Superman event at the Galaxy Boulevard Mall. Thank you to the staff at Galaxy Boulevard Mall. This was our fourth one doing this with them. We did No Way Home, Spider-Man No Way Home. We did Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. We did Nosferatu, and then today we did Superman. Always a great staff. The staff there is they're always there. It's like I've been doing this. I've been going in that theater for quite a while now, and the staff is stable. The management is stable. I don't come in every day and there's like 5 different managers. They always treat me well. They always give me a fair deal. And today was no different. So thank you to Galaxy Boulevard Malls. Also our sponsors, Sister Kim's Kitchen. As you can kind of see in the thumbnail, we had our 4 main sponsors. But okay, if you include Galaxy Boulevard Mall, DC Studios, who supplied us with a lot of stuff to give away today, Sister Kim's Kitchen, and Smoke Smart. I always got to say that slow. Who have provided us with this that we will be giving away. This is a little bong thing. It's a smoke shop. So there you go. This is kind of cool. This is from Austin, who is an employee there. So very themed. If you're gonna have a smoke shop, you're gonna sponsor a comic book event. This is what you do. So some lucky local person, because I would do this for our YouTubers, but I don't think this is gonna make shipping and handling no matter how good I do. So it's gonna be best for a local person to pick it up and take care of it that way. So there you go. Hopefully I sent him a link. He can come on and promote his place of business there. I have commercials and Get a Haircut. Thank you to Get a Haircut. They've always been cool sponsoring us. They are right downstairs. Get a Haircut, $10 haircuts. You come right in. It's one of the cooler places in town, not just for getting a haircut. JJ is a rock aficionado. He's got signed stuff there. He's got autograph. He's got a Van Halen autograph. I've actually posed with it. He's got a Van Halen guitar down here. He's got a lot of Kiss merchandise. He knows a lot of musicians. So not only are you going down there to get a haircut, it's like a little rock museum. So if you're ever coming down to the center and you need your haircut, you need some food, go to Sister Kim's and get your haircut and then come up and see me. So, all right, let's say hi to by the way, you guys know what it is. So far, we haven't made any ground. We haven't made any ground on our or any more ground on our second leg of our Send William to Comic-Con in style. I offered up 2 wretched movies. I mean, Brad thinks they're great, but we've had Brad on enough to know that his taste in movies is kind of at best fleeting. So yeah, we are. I had the pictures of. I have volunteered to watch 2 of the dumbest movies ever made. That being Ace Ventura 2, When Nature Calls, almost as equally as dumb as its predecessor, and Dumb and Dumber, aptly named, aptly described, and not false advertised in any way, shape, or form. I have subjected myself to do a double feature. However, we need to reach our goal. If you look at the top of the chat there, tethered to the top of the chat, is our tip page. And like I said, we're not just doing this so I can go go partying. You'll see when we get down to San Diego. I just got the list of some of the offsite stuff I'm going to be hitting up. And if I'm not on a panel covering, in fact, there's so many panels, I got to decide which one. I know I should be at the trauma panels. Anything that's trauma, I should be at, since they're the ones they sponsored the actual pass for me. So I should, if it's trauma, I should be there. And I'll be filming one of their panels in all H. But there's a REd Sonja panel. I know there's a lot of stuff. And like you said, that's only up until like 6 o'clock when the convention center starts to wind down. After that, there's a slew of stuff. I think there's more stuff offsite this year than I've ever seen when I've gone to convention, and I want to cover that. So I'm not going to be sleeping very much. I'm going to be in the bed. I won't be in the bed long enough for it to break this year. In fact, I'm going to a place where that was not going to happen. I'm going to the place I stayed in 2023 in Mission Beach. It's so beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to be all over the place covering stuff for you guys. I'm going to be doing live streams from the Gaslight District. So yeah, if you want to send William Comic-Con in style, there you go. There's a link, like I said, but I won't do it without cost. I mean, I am willing to stomach 2 absolutely shit-worthy movies. There we go. Caffeine. I'm going to be chugging those because there will be no sleep. And of course, I'll need to be fed. Granted, I will be eating healthier than this. This, like, just looking at this, just took seconds off my life. I will be eating enough of those, but there's salads and stuff, and they're going to be hiking up the prices for us geeks coming down there for Comic-Con. So like, subscribe, but donate, and I'll keep track of where we are. And when we hit that goal, if we hit it by the end of this week, let's give it till Sunday. If we hit it by Sunday, then I will we'll do the double feature of that. If we don't, do something else. All right, so get rid of that. All right, David Michael Babin. Babin or Babin? Let me know if I'm pronouncing it right. This is the first time I've seen you. I'm assuming you're talking about Superman. The movie was a mess with sloppy editing, quick scenes, weird music, too many characters, silly jokes, such a letdown. You are not the only person that has had that description. I mean, that assessment. I gave it a little bit more runway. But like I said, for those of you who absolutely did not like it, when I've read your reviews and I've seen your opinions, I'm thinking, if I stop and think and I'm objective, I can see where you're coming from. I had a little bit more fun with it than some people did, but I can't really dispute that, because, like I said, depending on what a Superman movie is for you, if you're a cartoon guy, man, you were in Nirvana. But if you are more of a Man of Steel guy, this was not probably going to not. There are certain aspects of this one that would that might be for you. Others, it's a little bit tougher. But it was a fun ride. I'll give it that. Clinton and the Duck. All right, Clint. Clint saw it with me today. It was a fun Superman movie, but you shouldn't look for Shakespeare Theater. Nah. There's my kangaroo, always with the kangaroo emoji. Is there a koala emoji, Aaron? Brad, actually, I don't know if Brad is going to be with us tonight. He may have gotten into a screening. I know he was going to try, so he may or may not be with us tonight. The determiner of whether Joga's drawing was better would be me. You got to realize there was the point of the whole operation was to look silly. Droga's art, while good, did not meet didn't fit what I needed. I told him it wasn't a bad drawing, but I had no intention of being taken that seriously. And thus we got what we got. Daniel Martin, I saw Superman today. I think I should have been eating Ritalin and Adderall instead of pot. Wow, damn. Mixing your drugs. REd Sonja, yeah. We're gonna watch that trailer. I think we're gonna be partnering with the studios on this one. So if I get taken off the air, I can actually get put back on. I know our next immediate one is I still know what you did. I know what you did last summer, whichever one that is. I will be passing on that one because I was never a big fan of that franchise to begin with, but I will be sending my geeks to it. Yeah, REd Sonja has a panel down there. I think it may. I gotta look. It may be at the same time as the Trauma panel. I really want to cover them both, but I mean, Trauma's bringing me in, so don't want to miss theirs. Yep, like, subscribe, share. We've grown our fan base in the last 7 days. Like I'm another 100 or so, it looks like here. And I grew them today too, because everybody that was not subscribed to the channel or to our social media, we had them scan that QR code that's on the screen, and we got them signed up there too. So, hey, William and Brad, going to see Superman on Saturday. Have a good time. Daniel Martin, you're right, William. It just felt hollow with no steroids or weight, and the big emotional speech didn't do anything for me. That speech he gives, and I won't spoil it for you. Superman gives a speech. I didn't mind the speech where it happened, and it seemed cheesy where it happened. It seemed cartoonish when he had. I didn't mind the words. I didn't mind him saying it. I just thought there was another part of the movie that they could have put that in, or another context they could have put that in. I thought that was out of place. I didn't dislike the speech. I thought the speech was out of place. And yeah, it was just no weight to it. That's what I mean by I say cartoonish. As I said, I know Wild Kill. I know Elmer Fudd is going to shoot Daffy Duck in the head with the double barrel shotgun and shoot him so hard that his beak wraps around his head, and there's no stakes. I know Elmer's not dying, and I know Daffy's not dying. So it's that's what I kind of felt like. I just didn't felt that there was any weight to the action, and that kind of diminished the action. All that being said, I had a good time. I had fun. Not gonna lie, second viewing was more heartwarming and less annoying. It felt a lot shorter. For me, and I went back and forth because I had stuff to do and I had already seen it. But for the most part, what I did I sat through the scenes. It stayed exactly the same for me. There were some things in the cinematography that I appreciated more the second time around. Like there's a scene you see in the commercial where he's holding up the building. There's a scene after that where she turns around and looks, and he's rising out of the smoke, and that looked really cool. So there were some cinematic elements of it that looked really cool. I overall thought that the movie was shot well. I love the way the flight scenes were done. I love the way the angles were done. There's a lot of good stuff in this movie, but like I said, there was, I gave it a solid 7 out of 10. I hear people, I'm giving it 6 out of 10, outside of the critics. So, but it was, like I said, still fun. Mike, I've had more fun promoting this movie than I did watching it, and I had a lot of fun watching it. But this whole week so far has been consumed by getting people to see it, getting people, out there, making people aware of it. So I had a lot of fun doing that. And in fact, I'm going to bring up some stuff. No, we're not going to do a spoiler review. Probably till Saturday, because you got people right now that couldn't make it to those Amazon screenings. And if you weren't at the press screening on Monday with me, then there's a good chance that the majority of people have not seen it. So I don't want to dive into spoilers yet. All right. Hey, it's when the movie opens, and it's when I could get the best deal. I had to make it feasible for these sponsors. I mean, in order to make these things happen, our sponsors that I just rang off there, I have to fit it within the range that I can cover it them with. If you go later into the evening, then you're starting to double and triple the price of getting the theater, because of the fact that those are prime hours, and you really that's where theaters make their bread and butter. So you really can't, So there you go. $5 super chat, Wall Street Journal. Yeah, I saw this. I saw this, and I responded. I think it was discussing. I responded to somebody's tweet about this. Let me bring this up. And you guys, this is not a new opinion from me. I said this at the beginning. All right, Wall Street Journal says David Zaslav, and I read the article, and there's like a sentence in there. Dismissed the JJ Superman film, calling it too woke, and Warner. Okay, yeah. I thought we were going to talk about the Rock thing because that Wall Street Journal just jumped all over the place. I don't have an opinion of Zaslav one way or another in regards to this. I hope that he did not mouth those words. He doesn't. All the people who I've known to say woke, it doesn't end well. And if you're an intelligent person, you do nothing for the perception of your intelligence by saying things like woke. And it comes off as racist. Now, I'm not saying David Zaslav is a racist. Never met the guy. Don't know. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he is not. But if the only significant difference about the character you're talking about versus anything else is that the character is black and you say woke, even if you don't mean it, you done fucked up and said something stupid. So, yeah, I saw that, and I hope he clarifies if he indeed said that. That article was shitty, by the way. I read that article for other reasons. That article was more clickbait. That's from the Wall Street Journal, by the way. Remember what I said about trades and publications. Everybody's so desperate to get that click that they're all working down at the basement level now. It used to be these major publications were the big ones. They were the examples because they had editorial staff. And when you threw stuff out there, and if it wasn't on point, your editors called you into the office for a couple of times before they fired you. Now, because of the internet, because of bloggers, because of you don't really need a structure to throw news out there, those guys, to stay relevant, are keeping up with the Joneses. And sometimes that means getting down in the gutter with them. So there you go. All right. And like I said, that's if he said that. That article, I mean, they were quoting somebody else, but really, I would like to hear some clarification on that. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Nah, I don't need drugs to get through that. There's harder things in life I've been through without ever resorting to drugs or alcohol. So I don't think one of the worst movies I've ever watched, Hey, Larry's the one who made that last awful watch party possible. So who knows? It seems like he's going to be right now. We're at like, we're nowhere near it. We are nowhere near it. Let me check because I emptied out everything and sent the rest to the account. Let's see. Yep, we are still at the same level. So Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura 2, I'm probably going to be saved. Granted, it sucks because we won't meet our goal, but hey, you know what? Here's some pain. Hello, Larry. What's going on? Yeah. Those dogs that I keep bringing up, that was right there where we lined up. And every time I would leave our line and go back and forth, I came back with one of those. A lot of times I didn't even make it back to the where we were staying. Yes, indeed. Phil's not going this year. Phil's got some other stuff going on, so it'll be me. Ray will be there. I will be there. But yeah. It's not classic Superman. It's New 52 Superman. Well, he said he was going from the Silver Age stuff, and that he was using Justice League International is both the comic and the cartoon is some of his guide points. But yeah, that's what he said. I felt like I was watching a cartoon. I felt the Keith Giffen Justice League in there. And like I said, if you like Superman the animated series, this is probably more for you than anything else. Nah, not now. No. I don't feel like I'm going to talk carefully, or I don't feel. I mean, like I said, I don't. It's Thursday. The movie just came out. Oh yeah, the punk rocker. Is that the punk rocker one you're talking about? You gave it a 7 out of 5 out of 10. And then Man of Steel 11 out of 10. I gave Man of Steel is almost a 10 for me. I gave this movie a 7 out of 10, which is still a solid one. Yeah, that's if he's gone tonight. He may be. I think he may be going because, like I said, I think he'd be here already. Because it's not necessary all the time. People don't always go to the movies to have their brain operate on that level, and you can't really fault the customer for that. Sometimes people just want to see shit blow up. They want to see hot chicks. They want to see fast cars. They want to see fights and people get their asses beat and shootouts. Sometimes they don't. They don't go for that. I mean, sometimes for me, I just need to see that kind of movie. But then there's other times I need to see Blade Runner 2049. I need to see some high end movies, but that's not all the time. And there's got to be movies out there like that, to where, the general audience can have some fun. It doesn't have to all be on the cerebral level. People don't understand this version of Superman is for comic fans. That's a little bit risky because the majority of people, the vast majority of people that are going to go see these movies, this movie in particular, are not comic book fans. I'm trying to change that by, with every customer I run into, but the bottom, the truth is, and that goes for Marvel or DC, is the vast majority of the people that they draw into these things. It's the spectacle of a comic book movie. It's not the details for them. So I wish that were different. I hope that changes because I would really like the papers and staples to get more respect. But yeah, the vast majority of people who are reading, we make up like maybe on the best day, 4% of the Marvel or of the market is us. The rest is just general people who know about these things, but in the periphery. Nah, Joker's was kind of cool. I bet, like I said, listen, the day I start taking myself seriously with this stuff, I get out. It's time to be done. I didn't want to look mean and fierce. I wanted to look like something you could laugh at. And it was cool, by the way, when you walk into the theater and my giant head is behind me on the screen. People got a good laugh. I got a good laugh. It was fun. I don't think I would have had the same effect with Joker's picture. Okay. You saw it. Glad you had fun, Mighty Rex. Superman feels really original, engaging. Original. I felt that he used a lot of tropes and stuff from Superman lore, which I didn't have too many problems with, but original, somewhat. Rest in peace, James Carter. I don't know who that was. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, the speech was good, but lost because of the context. Yeah, just upright to start, having a speech like right there in the middle of that was kind of, yeah. Let's see. I've heard that as well. That of highlights and high spots. I've heard that from one person as well. That may have worked for them though. We're gonna have to see because yeah, there is a lot of high spots. I mean, the trailer shows a lot of it, but yeah, it's just someone named Human Spawn is never coming out. Todd's full of shit. Well, you know what? Love Todd McFarlane, but I think he just needs to hand this over. I thought Blumhouse was doing it. Last I heard, wasn't Blumhouse doing it? And if Jason Blum is doing it, just let him do it. He should trust Jason Blum. I mean, he has a resume. I know nobody knows that character better than Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane's not a filmmaker. How you doing as Tegler? Yeah, I mean, this the word woke. My ears start closing up. When I'm looking at you, I'm no longer looking at a person that I'm talking to seriously. Once you start saying words like woke, I mean, I'm like, that's like the key word to like, damn, look at the time, I gotta go. In terms of the fact that this is a general audience, so it's not versus more of a nerds. It makes sense to them. Nerds and just people who like that kind of high end, high stakes, mythological drama, and that's what that is. And this is not, like I said, this isn't a bad movie. He just chose a different path. You know what? Not everything's for everybody. And you know what? this time around.
What's good, man?
Hey, I don't think we're gonna do spoilers today.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. I'll try to keep it. It was super hard earlier. I did a little short stream. I was watching. I was trying my best to not spoil anything for anybody, because I know exactly like you just said a few minutes ago. It's a ton of people who probably just now watching the movie or hadn't even seen it yet. So
yeah, but the first question I got, I'm always getting people trying to bait me into this. Was it better than Man of Steel? Okay, guys, listen, and I have the utmost respect for James Gunn. I think he's a brilliant storyteller. This is a really good movie. Man of Steel is a great movie.
Yeah,
and a lot of that is going to have to deal with my preference. You could ask the person sitting next to me at any one of the screenings I went to, and they would have a different opinion based on where they come from. If the first time you saw Superman was in a cartoon, you were going to have a different perspective from somebody like me who saw Christopher Reeves, who read Kingdom Come, who appreciated Man of Steel. We're going to be coming from two different worlds, and it's just this time they decided to please you. He decided, and Zack Snyder's movies aren't for kids. Thank God.
Yeah.
This movie, with the exception of one scene, which in my opinion, got it. It's PG-13.
It did, yes, yeah.
But the rest of the movie was. I had families today. Out of the 84 people, by the way, Galaxy Theaters, you could have let me know that it was a 94 seater. Instead of letting me know at the last minute. Oh, it's not, because I bought in 84 people, 79 people, because I gave myself a buffer, right? And then so some people I could let in later, and we would get them updated. And I'm looking around, I'm like, wait a minute, man. I'm gonna take a nice little picture with everybody and their fans, but I got some, because people sat with their families and gave each other a seat. Even though we only had like 10 seats that weren't full, but that was by design for some of me. If they would have let me know I had 94, I turned people down.
Oh, yeah.
I turn people down because I don't want you coming out in 110-degree heat and you can't get in. You're gonna go upside my head. You know,
I feel you 1,000%. Yeah.
So I could have just, sorry for you. Actually, it was 26 people I turned away for this.
Oh, man.
So 10 of you could have, sorry, I'll hook you up. You come to the store. You know who you are. Come to the store. I got your poster. I got your stuff. The same stuff you would have gotten there. I gave away stuff today. Like I said, in fact, let's go look at what a good time William had. Like I said, I've had a better time promoting this this movie, and that's not to say I didn't have a good time watching it. It's just it was way more fun for me.
Yeah.
To promote.
No, I seen a few pics. Looked like he had a ball. Yeah.
Yeah, so there we are. Hold on, there we are. So let's start with this one right here. So this is our Superman. Can you guys see it?
Nice.
So this is our Superman. This is the one that we had. By the way, this is the one that when he was in his other suit, he was in his regular suit today. He had a actual, because for the parade, Warner Brothers wanted them to have the suit from the movie.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers, because they crammed all this marketing into like one tiny little hole. I think June 28th, maybe June 30th. Hey, William, can you get us a Superman? I'm like, yeah, sure. When? For the 4th of July. I'm like, that's like less than a week away. And thank God Alan, this guy here, was available. I don't know how he was still available for that, but yeah, we were able to get him. He came down there and he was taking pictures. And as you can see behind me, that's what I mean, guys. This is you, Joga. You did some great work, but under no circumstances did I need to be taken seriously. Here, that's me and him.
Yo, what's good, chat? Yeah. My bad, man. I got to see it. Yeah, apologies. I was in bed and I was watching Air, which I love Air, so I watch it.
Oh, the shoes, about the shoes.
Yeah. And I heard my phone go off, and it took me a minute to check it. And I was like, "Oh shit!" Matter of fact, I always hear y'all talking about the notification when you go live, dude. I get it almost instantly because I'm always at work.
See, somebody is.
Yeah, so I'll be at work and I'll get the notification and I'll watch, and then I'll see when you guys pull up your phone or whatever Brad said, and y'all will be like, "Yo, we just now getting notification." I was like, "Damn, I actually get it on time or whatever." But I got the notification, looked, and then I seen you send me a link. I was like, "Yeah, let me Let me get up, man. Let me get up.
Sometimes I get it after the show's over, which is hilarious.
Oh man.
Yeah. But there you go. There's my this is their version of IMAX, so it's kind of big from top to bottom. You can't see it's the other side to blacked out. But yeah, thank you, like I said, to Smoke Smart, Sister Cam's Kitchen, Get a Haircut, DC Studios, because they did provide some stuff, and there's more on the way from them. And then Galaxy. So yeah, and like I said, they pop in every now and then. They don't type anything, but they pop in. They were definitely on the stream a couple of nights ago. After I got done with the movie, my rep was in there just to make sure I didn't spoil anything. I'm like, come on, man. I'm not an amateur. Yeah, we just got to make sure, because sometimes people don't know what a spoiler is. All right, fine. Just don't type anything. Just please don't spook my chat. So yeah, that was me when I came in. So like I said, all my geeks came in and they were greeted to my big head in front of my big head. And the thing I used, like I said, all I had to do, I just wasn't coming up with the right image that I wanted. And then I typed in Alfred E. Newman and Mad Magazine, and that's what it gave me. I love it. All right. And then there you go. Well, like I said, and then like I said, these are this was only a couple pictures because we had to get out of there because we had the prime time people coming in like right after us. So this is one of my geeks. So what I did is I had you the QR code, just send me a selfie and tag me with your Instagram, Twitter, or anything else. And at the end of the movie, I would randomly pick names. So these are some of the people that got those posters. I still got a lot of those posters left. So if you're in the Las Vegas area, you know what to do. And then some of the kids got Crypto Comics, Crypto's first reprint of Crypto's first appearance.
Oh, nice.
And then Crypto, the last dog of Krypton. And then there's this Data Scary. Go ahead and take a gander of that. That'll give you some nightmares. There you go. But no, I had a lot of fun with it, and like I said, I was it was a thrill to promote. It was a lot of fun to promote, and then I was making fun of Brad because Brad can't stand the fact that they still play this.
I commented on that post because I had seen what I was watching. You know, I was doing shit at work, but I was listening, and I heard you say, "Yeah, it'll probably be on TNT like tomorrow," and literally it is. Yeah. Brad, he gets so upset.
Aquaman will be on there, and like I said, because they just keep showing it. And here's the thing, though, what Brad doesn't understand is that you're not going to catch Zack Snyder's Justice League on your own. If you're a layman, if you're outside of all this, you are not going to just happen upon Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah,
and it's a 4-hour movie, so it is not getting put on TV.
Yeah.
So if you watch this, and the average Joe who is not involved in anything might like this movie, he's going to go looking out and say, wait a minute, I heard about something. And if he's got HBO Max, he can Google it. Guess what he's going to find out about? Now he's closer to us than ever. I would rather have somebody come into the house through the back door the wrong way through a window than not get in at all. I want you to end up at the table. So I thought it was hilarious because they show this a lot. And it generates ad revenue for them. So I can't really knock him. So I thought it was hilarious. And he was angry. Then he printed up, or he responded with his Zack Snyder Justice League. And I'm like, dude, they are not showing a 4-hour movie cut of that movie on the thing. So
I mean, I feel him. I wish they would. It'd be. Could you imagine? I know the 5th. We went and did stuff on the 4th, but on the 5th, I had my moms and them come over, and me and my sister were coming from outside inside, and Man of Steel was on TV on TNT. And of course, I'm gonna stop and watch. Just what I think it was on the Smallville scene. And my sister, who does not follow this stuff at all, was like, there's a new one coming out soon, ain't it? And I was like, yeah, in like a few days. And she was like, looks cartoony. And I was like, all right, then. Yeah, that's kind of like some kind of like a general audience person who like doesn't even really watch superhero movies at all.
Yeah, James Gunn made all the right business decisions to make this available to everyone.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that moved it further away from what my core values of Superman is, but he made all the right business decisions. Putting crypto in there to get the kids to want to rewatch it again was the right one. Making it cartoony for the people who are, he basically catered to people who have a peripheral abstract idea of what Superman is. and it did not cater to the people who detail know what Superman is.
Yeah.
The detail people, unfortunately, are geeks like me running around with a shirt like this that are the 5%ers. Yeah. So if you're going to make mass money to get this thing going, you had to do the movie he did.
No, and also taking on the challenge of doing a Superman film in this time. I don't think any director, no matter how any director we love, I think is going to be fighting an uphill battle, except for like probably McQuarrie, because there was that talk, him and Henry and McQuarrie pitched a Superman film, but for most directors, you're fighting an uphill battle anyway. And yeah, I think he took the safest road possible as far as putting together what he did.
People think I mean that as an insult when I say basic and safe. No, it's a basic movie with all the check marks of what do I vaguely remember Superman being. And he checked those off because he knew that appeal, that surface appeal, appeals with just everybody.
Yeah.
Now, as you get deeper into, the alien nature of Superman and all these other things, how Man of Steel opened up with it opening up in this alien world with technology I'd never seen before, that appeals to me. But nostalgia, he went for the nostalgia. I always say nostalgia is like a time bomb. If you pull the right wires, everybody makes out alive. If you pull the wrong one, everybody gets blown to bits. And this movie, like I said, The Fortress of Solitude, some of this movie where it keeps it from being a 10 for me, things like that, or it harkened back to the child I no longer am.
Yeah.
Something happened between Donner's movies and 2025. I grew up.
Yeah.
And as I grew up, the world changed. I took on different responsibilities. I understood the world around me in a different way. The world changed, our environment changed, our environment changed, our social environment changed, our availability to information changed. Yep. So I need a Superman that fits the world I live in. This was fantasy, which is, like I said, nothing wrong with that. Yeah. This was fantasy. Man of Steel was that world. Yeah. Was that world. He asked a question that I think even Gunn asked here is, what would happen when the world starts to take a realistic view of this alien with all this power? How would we, some of you are going to worship him. Some of you are going to be afraid. Yeah. And I think that's what they told that story through in BBS in Man of Steel. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. 1000%. That was, Man of Steel was when that came along after so many years of seeing a certain version of the character and reading a certain version and things of that nature, when it came, it was exactly even if you didn't know that you were looking for that, it was exactly so. But I figured, and it's funny because it's the S what that Gunn chose for this Superman. Obviously, it's familiar to a lot of us because it's like the Kingdom Come sort of shield, but I think he tried to choose something that was as far away from what Zack Snyder did with the Man of Steel. Talking about shield where it had like some Kryptonian inscriptions and all of that kind of stuff in it. I think he tried to choose something that was as far away from that as because I still don't know why he chose it. The thing I have, and he's a comic book collector, so when I'm talking about him, I'm talking about a fellow comic book collector. He just made a difference of opinion. I don't like that S being anywhere but Kingdom Come, and here's why. It's not just a symbol of Superman, it's a symbol of an era. It's a symbol of the mid-90s. It's a symbol of, if you look at that Superman S, now, what we are kind of led to believe that everybody basically looked like their basic symbols and everything else 20 years before Magog and everybody came and took over in Kingdom Come. Him adopting that suit, that S with the color taken out of it, that with the hard edges and not a soft, comforting flow design, is telling you I'm not coming back because for the old reasons that I was here before. I'm coming back, and this S is a reflection of why I'm coming back. Taking that color out, this is no fun and games. This is no colorful. This is no peace mission. This is no Boy Scout. This is me coming back to deal with a particular threat. And that S not having that color in there. So when I see that S with that color in there, that S meant something. So I've always assumed that if you were to look at Superman 20 years prior to in the same Kingdom Come that he has a normal S, and that it is his view on the world and humanity that chose Magog and all the violence, that's why that S looks like that way. This is his way of fitting into that world. So that S means a lot more to me than just a contemporary Superman. And now if somebody's going to say, well, maybe he's telling a Kingdom Come story, I have a slight problem with that too, because Kingdom Come, one of the heart of Kingdom Come is the time that has passed. That by the time we see Kingdom Come, which is an Elseworld, it's a possible future, which means you're dealing with an older. You see him; he's all grayed. You're dealing with an older Batman, an older Wonder Woman, an entire older generation. That the whole point is that a new violent generation is coming and taking effect and taking over. So there's a story behind that S that I don't know if you can tell it. Now, if James Gunn were going to do an outright Kingdom Come, I'm all for it. But this wasn't it, you know.
Because when how long ago was it? Has it been a year since they were first revealed what his?
It's about a year.
And I thought when I first saw it, I was like, oh shit, is it Kingdom Come? You know what I mean? Just from the look of it, but man, that's I just wondered what was his motivation for.
I want to ask him someday. By the way, James Gunn, if you're watching. Technically, I'm owed an interview. I know I'm never going to get it, but before you were promoted to DC studio head, a mutual that I texted a list of questions to, and then you got promoted 2 weeks later, and then I know that it's never going to happen. But hey, if you're watching this show, like and subscribe. And hey, I'm going to be honest about. I enjoyed. I had fun with the movie, but like I said, I prefer it over. He's a human saying I prefer it over Superman. I prefer all but 2 Superman movies over Superman Returns, and that's Superman 3 and Superman 4. I don't think Superman Returns was a good movie. A collection of great talent, but I just don't think it was a good movie. I thought it was a poor choice to go all in with nostalgia. And And like I said, that's one of the ones where you pulled the wrong wire. So there you go.
Actually, I don't have that big of a problem with Returns. There's some good stuff in there that if I ever catch it on, I'll watch it, but there's some absolute misses in there too. And the pool of actors in there is really really great. You know what I mean? Like on paper and stuff. I thought what's his name was good as Lex Spacey was, but there's some like the plane scene at the beginning, that was
really good.
Yeah,
the bullet nice. To the eye thing is cool.
Yeah. You see that kind of, and it was like, the first time when Superman Returns came out, it was post, first Superman movie, like after Jurassic Park, after, T2 or whatever, where special effects had taken a little bit of a leap where you hadn't gotten to see that, the last time you saw Christopher Reeves on the screen, it was still like the green screen flying.
Strings, there were still strings. You could see the strings in the movie. So.
Yeah. And so it was the first one. So there's some memorable moments out of it, but it's again, like I was saying, as far as what I was waiting for in live action Superman, that came out and I was like, okay, still waiting on that thing. But
all right, Larry, thank you for the $5 super chat. After seeing this, do you have any more of a guess who the big threat of this chapter might be? Brainiac, Savage, White Martians, etc. No, I do not. There just wasn't enough there for me to be able to make that determination. And I don't know if he's ready. That may go all the way through Lanterns, all the way up to Wonder Woman. It may take us a while. It took us a while to get to Thanos, because remember, we didn't know that Thanos was the overarching villain until 4 years into the MCU. We didn't see Thanos. The MCU debuted in 2008 with Iron Man, and we did not see Thanos' face until the last scene of Avengers, proper Avengers 2012, when he turns around. So thank you, Ann Rational, for the super chats. I had Aaron highlighted. They were doing the best with what they had. Now here's the thing. I had a problem with Lex that I did not think I would have coming into this movie. He just didn't do it for me. I think Nicholas Hoult is a better actor than what he was dealing with there. He, at sometimes, and this is where the term comic booky comes, because he was just ripped out of the comics. This was a perfect example of when I go to see a movie, I'm going to see a movie. I'm surrounded by comic books all day. When I want to read a comic book, I can take one off the shelf and I can read one. Yeah. I don't need the two to necessarily, even if there's an adaptation, that's fine. But it felt like there was one when he was in that tower and he was describing his hatred for Superman, which they did not lead up to, by the way. It felt like he was reading it from a comic book. Well, he was one of the characters that I thought the movie could have been longer. If the movie were longer, I think he could have helped. He could have helped him. Because I just know he was angry, and he was really angry. It's one thing for him to be angry. He was really angry, and that shit's like, why? God damn, dude. And then some of the things he did weren't consistent with his own character within the movie. So I thought Lex was the one character that coming in, I thought was going to be the linchpin of the movie, given Nicholas Holt's acumen. It was not. He annoyed me. I wanted to get past his scenes. Jimmy Olsen did more for me in this movie than Lex did in some cases. Because Lex was basic. He did what he was supposed to do, but nothing really special, like I always thought. Jimmy kind of overperformed. You know, he had some things in there that I thought were kind of funny, and I could see in the movie. Yeah, and Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, no, Mr. Terrific was nice. Mr. Terrific was nice. I think, for me, the Lex, it felt like a lot of monologues as far as whenever he would, because whenever he would say stuff, it sort of, I felt like they were trying to give it that sort of gravity whenever he was, whenever he would say anything, basically, especially when they got, and I ain't trying to spoil it, when they got to Force of Solitude, you see that in the trailers or whatever, but anytime he spoke, they try to give it that. Sometimes it hit for me, a lot of times it didn't, but and I know you always talk about the crypto. That shit was incredible. Crypto did not have a bad scene in the movie, in my personal opinion. As a dog person, I have 2 dogs at the house. They in their sleep. Crypto was incredible, and I went and seen it. My wife went and seen it with me, and she was just like, I mean, you just get it. If you have dogs, you just get it. And so I remember you when after you saw it on Monday, you were saying that Crypto's an asshole, and I was like, that's a dog, man.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Like I said, even Superman when Lois is like, he's just a dog. He's like, yeah, he's not even a good one. I thought that was hilarious. They don't overuse him. I thought Crypto was used perfectly in this movie.
Yes.
He's in the movie where he needs to be the movie, and he never overstays his time on the screen.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. Okay, Larry, $10 super chat. Thank you for the support. I hope it does well. This cast is great. The cast is great.
They are incredible. Yeah.
I'm curious to see them with other directors and other styles. Hopefully, we get Dark Knight Returns, Snyder, Fleck, Elseworlds, and one more Cavill. At least, I would love that. I think, to be honest with you, if he gets the leverage over to him to where he can start charting his own path without a lot of people looking over his shoulder, I think all of us who've been patient can get some things out of this guy, and because he thinks like a comic book guy. He's not. This is the difference between having the previous regime and this regime. That's why I hate when people try to, they try to bring up the pain of the predecessors that are no longer there, because we finally got a guy who is none of that. He understands comic books. He's a studio head, so legally he has things written into his contract that Zach as a director did not have. So they the previous regime looks at these movies as just another Warner Brothers movies. He looks at them as DC. And this guy wanders around comic book stores, even though, like I said, he may choose to be inspired by things I'm not big into, like JLI and Lobo and all these things that I could just like go my entire life without ever seeing on big screen. But that's just a preference thing. So I hope we do get some Elseworlds. In fact, he's open to Elseworlds. He said it. So I was okay. Here we're gonna get to this shit. All right, William, what was the revelation about the rocks? They labeled back to. All right, so this Wall Street Journal, which I thought was a horrible article. I'm sorry, Wall Street Journal. Horrible.
Before I hopped on, I had heard you talk. I didn't read the article. So what happened?
They basically said that how they were going up and down James Gunn's journey to being studio head and the way it's studio, and they and a lot of people keep saying this. If Black Adam didn't flop, it would have been Dwayne Johnson would have been rolling. Get the fuck out of here. All right, get into a spaceship and go to outer fucking space with that bullshit. He was never, I don't care what that article said, he was never going to, because those guys had never ran a studio before. And he already had James Gunn in there.
Yeah.
He wanted that Marvel product. I don't think they ever seriously took Hyman, or whatever. And I don't think it.
Garcia,
like I said, nobody ever answers the question. They just draw blanks. And if it was all about the box office of Black Adam, which, by the way, nearly $400 million in a mismanaged company with no A-listers except for the one you jammed in there at the last second, that movie, I don't care if Dwayne Johnson's a megastar anyway. So is Tom Cruise. And guess what? The Mummy bombed. So if the characters aren't there, if people are not feeling the characters and they don't recognize, no name could do better as Superman than a name can do at Black Adam and Shazam. It's just the way this is the way pop culture works. So yeah, 400 million, given all that, given the fight that they had to get to make that movie, the fact that they cut the balls out from the universe by keeping Superman in witness protection program, no A-listers for 5 years, basically, fucked up Aquaman 2. This is the people, but that movie made nearly 400 million. The only thing James Gunn had done to that point lost $52 million, and that's the Suicide Squad. And you know what? They shouldn't have been using box office to determine that, because there are circumstances to both of those guys. If you're coming into to the fact that Zazoff, you're there, is based on the decisions of the people who basically pushed out Black Adam. You literally were able to buy a $74 billion company for $30 billion less because of the people in their meddling of all of this stuff. So they knew the circumstances. So I don't believe that. I see fans saying that bullshit, and everybody, Black Adam was this. So no. You know what changed the game? James Gunn said yes, because they were talking to James Gunn before Black Adam. If James Gunn would have said yes earlier on, before Dan Lin and all these other guys were interviewed, then guess what? That's who gets the job, period. So I saw that, and I'm like, that's just bullshit. But he would keep spreading that. And listen, The Rock done some crazy shit. But you know what? The handling of Black Adam was on the ghost regime, I call them, because they're all ghosts. They're gone.
They're gone.
The ghost regime. So I saw that bullshit, and I'm like, I mean, a flop, dude. They would have given both of their ears and their eyeballs for that type of money. Now, did they spend too much to make Black Adam? Yeah, but you know what? You jackasses, the former jackasses there, sat and approved that budget. You jackasses sat in those dailies and watched that movies. Yeah. So you know, if you didn't think that the movie that you were making was the right one, then you basically said, what the fuck were you doing that whole time? Yeah. So yeah, I think it's easy to think like, but like I said, if you're saying it's about box office, and then well, no, Suicide Squad was released when COVID, so that's not fair. Bullshit. And here's why: Godzilla versus Kong was released. It was the first major movie that was played. It had the same exact circumstances. People bring up, it was a day and date, and Warner Brothers screwed them. Bullshit. Because Godzilla versus Kong was released on the platforms and in theaters with no vaccine. We were still knee deep. By the time Suicide came out in August of 2021, there was we were in our second wave. I had gotten a shot. All the old people had gotten shot. Everybody had gotten a shot. The theaters are opening up. More people were coming to the theaters. So that same movie made $400 million with it being on HBO Max, with COVID being at a higher height than it was in there. So that same excuse. The reason why Suicide Squad didn't make any money, first of all, you'd already fucked up the DC brand. Every time you made a DC movie during that era, first question that anybody's going to ask you, where's Superman? Where's Batman? Harley Quinn and the Fantastic? What? Where? What? Yeah. Even though I like Suicide Squad, I love Suicide Squad, but you weren't going to make money with a bunch of they killed a quarter of the damn cast while the credits were rolling. So you basically are saying that half of these characters that you're coming, they're dead. Nobody knows who the rest of them are. Polka Dot Man, who's that? Who's that? So you and you didn't have any connection to anything else going on, which is why people bought into. So there are legitimate reasons why Suicide Squad lost money. You probably shouldn't be making a movie with Z-listers when you were still trying to dig up graves to find your A-listers. So, but you let him make that decision. So, but when it came down to it, it needed to be, does this guy have an idea for for a studio. And once James Gunn and Peter Safran were in the conversation, Zaslav was going for that guy because the quote he said is, "What about that guy who did the Guardian stuff? How come we can't just use that guy?"
Yeah.
And so that it wouldn't have mattered but they had already pretty much made the decision for James Gunn. Well, if Black Adam would have made $1 billion, which it was never going to. Stop it.
No,
stop it.
Yeah.
It was never going to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a stretch. It's a super stretch.
Once James Gunn said yes, so the first thing you're going to do is undermine the guy that you just appoint. No, stop it.
Whatever. Yeah.
But man, they go into stuff, and these articles come out.
Yeah.
And like I said, it kills movie talk, man, because people get their information from people get their information from a fucking talking cow if they're telling them what they want to hear. Wow, that sounds legit. I heard. What did you hear from? A talking cow. And they don't sound stupid because a whole bunch of other people are getting information from talking cows. It's just a sad situation. They're gonna have some problems with Supergirl. I am going to like what they do with Supergirl. I think the general public's gonna be like a drunk with these type of issues. If you read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, this looks like exactly. I mean, she even had the coat. She stumbled in there drunk, looking for a planet to get drunk on. So that, by the way, that's not a spoiler. She's in the movie. Yeah. And if you know Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. So I think a lot of people are going to be like, I don't know about this. I'm going to be down for it because it's Tom King. Tom King's executive, and it's coming from his story. So, I was, but yeah, that whole flop that bothered me. Because, like I said, and first of all, they're already doing it with this one. So if this thing did 200 million worldwide, that's a flop. What? It's an investment. You guys, you can't shit on the carpet for 7 years and then come in and think you're going to get all that cleaned up. You're either going to rip up the carpet, or you're going to invest. Yeah. So. Again,
like I said earlier, it's a they're like you trip ass thing. But no, like I said, uphill battle, man. Uphill battle. They I already knew. I don't know any scenario, anything he could have made, honestly, that would have done $1 billion right off the rip. You know what I mean? Like, if he was starting a new thing, I don't care where, even if he started with Batman, I don't know if he's making $1 billion on his first attempt. Yeah.
There's this, and Campia has said it. One of the few things he said about this movie that I actually agree with, because he's just all in, is the reboot fatigue. I don't believe in comic book fatigue. I believe in reboot fatigue. And I think once you tell people that we're starting over again, the people that were on board with you are going to be, they're going to gas. They're going to be like, oh shit, you know what? If I'm going to start over again, I may as well move over to other IPs. And if somebody, and if it's great, and if it looks like, this may be something I'm into, I'll come back to it. But initially you're in an uphill battle because people don't like having their time wasted. There are a lot of people, for better or for worse, that invested time into that previous version of these characters just to basically be left holding the bag. And I'm not talking about cultists or anything else. I'm just talking about the general audience who may have come to these movies. They don't scream, hoop, and holler and get on YouTube. They just will continue to go to the things that they like. They went to Man of Steel. They like Man of Steel. They went to 678 million. Then they went to BBS 871 million. They came back and they bought fans with them. But because we were in an era of stupid ass people who don't know what a win is, who basically have to take off their shoes to go beyond 10. They basically, somehow that was a loss for them. And then they come up with these stupid ass excuses. Well, it needed to make $1 billion. No, it didn't. It needed to escalate. It needed to, the next movie needed to be about 950. The next movie after that, you need to be showing signs of growth. And they did. Yeah. So, but those guys are gone. Yeah. Thank you for the 5 gifts, Larry. Larry just gave 5 gifts to the chat. So we have 5 new members.
Membership laundering slipped out.
What's up? What is this?
They said you want a membership to your own channel, and then somebody said membership laundering.
Oh yeah, that's that email I just got. Well, I'm in the chat because I'm monitoring the chat, so that's great. But yeah, I thought this movie was fun.
No, I mean, look, it's plenty to like, and again, I think again, the two drawbacks, man. Yeah, I can't go into spoilers on that. Just the message. I'll just put it like that from his parents. that bothered me a bit. And the humor, Gunn, he does sometimes scenes that sort of hold a lot of emotional gravity, and you're like really into it. Then all of a sudden, like there's a joke, there's just drops right in the middle, and you're like, didn't need it right then, but there you go. And I think those were the 2 points that sort of mess up. Like I said, mine's like 6 out of 10 if I'm giving it out of 10.
Yeah, like I said, it didn't need to be perfect. It just needed to get the conversation, because if you look at the frequency of DC movies in the last 10 years, in the last 8 years, ever since 2017, you've had bad output.
Yeah.
The further away you got from the core storyline, people will Aquaman made $1 billion and it wasn't directed by Zack Snyder. It proves that a guy he casted, by the way, that was a risk. A guy he casted and gave platform to. Same thing with Wonder Woman. They saw those characters. Wonder Woman was in BVS. I'm sorry, but that probably had a big deal, and people getting customer recognizing. And same thing with Aquaman. Even the people who saw the shitworthy version of Justice League saw a MILF magnet that they wanted to see again. You know what? The MILFs went to that movie, and once he took his shirt off and went into the ocean, they got their money's worth. They didn't care what he was saying. They didn't care whether they weren't going in there looking for Scorsese. They were going for Jason Momoa. And guess what? When you see Lobo, I don't care if Lobo's supposed to wear a leather vest or a jacket. That fool's going to be shirtless. Why? Because they know who's coming to see Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
So Zach casted those people. But as you got further away, you started getting Blue Beetle. You started getting Shazam 2's Shazam. You started getting Harley Quinn and a fantabulous goofball name that confused everybody. You started to get, I said Blue Beetle, but you started to get, things that people were like, wait a minute, we're drifting further and further away. And that's the DC. So when people say, well, the DCU failed, it was kind of like tortured. It was kidnapped and tortured. The DCU that we started off with was they put a bag over its head and they took it to a tunnel somewhere and beat the hell out of it. And out of that, you got some really, really bad, some really, really boring things. There's just people left. So yeah, let's see. All right, I'm bad lip reading. Let's see. I'm trying to. Let's see. Yeah, come on, guys. Listen. Unlike Anthony, I'm not ripped up. I eat like shit, and in order for me to continue this trend in sunny San Diego,
I eat like shit as well. Damn, they look good.
I need these aren't free. If I come up and try to take one of these for free, I'll probably get arrested, and I don't want to do that. So
damn, are those curly fries in the corner back there?
Yes, they are. Some of them too. Everything on here is deadly. Then there's if you see to the right there's a steak. Philly steak sandwiches.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
it's all this fried food is just taking years off your life. But hey, support the center. Leave me a tip. I've given you guys an incentive. It's 2 shitty movies that Brad will have a good time with. I'm going to absolutely destroy Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura: Where Nature Calls.
Hey man, I got to tell you, I love those movies, man. I'm on.
That's a damn shame, Anthony. That's a damn
hey
shame.
Man, I just find them to be extremely hilarious, man. That I don't it's if I do catch myself watching Ace Ventura, I'm not at the same expectation like I'm watching like Oppenheimer and shit.
No expectation of watching Garbage Grove. That's my expectation of that movie. So you guys want to see me suffer through another one of these dreadful movies? Not one, but 2. Let's meet our goal. There's a link. Don't send send it to that. You got a long way. Like I said, Brad's going to be disappointed in your guys' participation tonight. He's really looking forward to this shit. So, yeah, just wanted to put that out there because.
Hold on. I guess a couple questions. Let's see.
Which one? Where's he at?
Azteca says, here's a weird question. William ACS, everyone in the chat. Who saw Superman? Are you worried for Batman, Swamp Thing, Green Lanterns? I'm fucking hyped for Lanterns.
I'm hyped, but just give me the Lanterns.
Yeah.
That's my hat. That's my hat. Man.
Yeah, I'm if not for anything else, just the 2 actors that they picked to play them 2 roles. Fans of both of those guys, and I'm hyped for Lanterns. I have I hated to see how much hate came from that picture of them walking. I was like, you have no context to what is happening to
I did. And you know why? And I know why you did.
What's that?
What were we looking at in that picture? What were we looking at? We were looking at the. Hold on, let me bring it up. Hold on, because there's something in here when they were walking down, and people just said that was whatever, and there was so much from that one picture, and I'm talking about the one where they're walking down the road.
Yeah.
Oh no, it just keeps up being a guy guarded. Oh my god, that's the sad thing now.
Well, every time you the Green Lantern, they pulls up. Hey, Philly was all right, man. He was all right, man.
He was all right, but that's not who I'm looking for. I'm looking for the two.
I did enjoy the hand gestures on that one scene.
Yeah, the middle finger.
Yeah,
that's some shit he would do.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. That was cool.
All right, now when you look at these guys, they made fun of this picture, and I see a story being told here. Now, I'm wondering if you'll pick up on it. What do these two have in common besides being Green Lanterns? Significant.
Shit, I don't know. Is it? Maybe I'm not picking up.
I'll give you a clue. It's the same thing you and I have in common, besides just being on YouTube. Come on, man. You all right? You were saying, keep finish.
Military?
Finish there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So the guy on the right, so let's start with Jon Stewart on the left.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how he's dressed.
Yep.
Look at that haircut. Look at that shave. Look at those clothes.
Yeah.
Basic clothes, basic clutters, nothing too flashy. That is a brand new Marine officer or NCO.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Officer, brand new, high and tight. Look at the look on his face. More focus, more everything. He's by the book, because that's what jarheads are. Jarheads are by the book, especially brand new ones.
Yeah.
Same thing with Army, but more so.
Yeah.
Guy on the right, he's also military.
Yeah. He done been through some shit.
That guy's seen some shit.
Yeah.
That guy is military. He came in looking like that guy.
Yeah.
This guy, they're both lanterns, but they're both military guys. Jon Stewart has not seen nearly as much as Al Stewart has as a military officer, and he has not seen as much as he has as a Green Lantern. And you can see both of them in his face. His hair, his gruff, the way he's wearing his clothes, baggy, the leather jacket, the black shirt. They're just the whole I'm a Green Lantern, but I'm a pilot in the Air Force.
Yeah.
But wait till you've seen what I've seen.
Yeah.
The lines you're going to see Jon Stewart grow into with how Jordan is, just like you see him in the comic.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for this. And you got Damon Lindelof doing it, and Tom.
Man.
And the people who did Night Country working on it. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
Superman can suck. Just give me the lanterns.
Yeah. No, I am as far as I'm not worried about lanterns at all. Swamp Thing. The only thing, the Batman. I mean, obviously that just is based on casting a period, I guess. As far as, but hey, I do agree with you though. I don't know if you said it last night or the night before. Robert Pattinson's Batman, no place in this movie. No place in Superman at all.
It was a horrible idea to begin with. However, if you see this movie and you are still thinking that Robert Pattinson needs to be the DCU Batman, there's nothing left for me to do for you. I'm not reaching you. I'm not reaching you, because there is no place. There is no place in that. Yeah,
what Gunn did here, unless you just want to just say, oh, well, the Batman just doesn't exist anymore. That movie is gone. Otherwise,
Yeah. How'd I feel? Well, I thought I didn't like the resolution of what he was. I won't spoil it. I thought that they did some things that differed from where his actual origins were. I thought, given the fact that they had something in that movie that I won't say because it's a big part of the movie. The origins of Ultraman were kind of lame, because if you have this thing, then you could have done that to get that Ultraman, but they did something else, and I'm like, and then he just turned out to be, and then you'd have Lex kind of like, undercutting his the character in a way that was kind of, I'm starting to feel like Lex is about this character. So yeah.
What up, Bill?
Oh, so there's Miss F Bomb up here. Where's Miss F Bomb?
She said 2 armor bears on the panel. Indeed. She said, I was like, who's the deep voice?
Oh, who's the deep voice? It's got to be.
She said she thought.
What am I a hater? Well, I'm not a hater. You guys always call me a hater. Haters just hate. Just like on the Chappelle show. They just hate for no reasons. I give you reasons why I don't like things. You know, the guys always say, oh, you hate the animated. You hate Batman animated. No. I disagree with the philosophically disagree with all these things.
And before I forget, everybody in the chat, if I'm at work and I'm watching the show, man, I hate because I have to do it from my phone. It won't let you tag people in the chat the way it does if you're watching on your laptop. You can't at them or whatever. So it's like, oh, I'm trying to remember that, but I try to respond to everybody in the chat. Let's see, Wrangler jeans commercial. What you talking about? Azteca.
These guys, our chat's wild, man. They're inspired. ACS or Bane. I'll take ACS. I hate Bane as a character, except for an Absolute Batman. They've actually done something.
Okay.
With him,
dude. I go through these patches. Like at some point in time, I'm gonna get all of that Absolute and read it because I hadn't even started any of that. Let's see.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. Start with Absolute Batman and read them in order that they came out, and it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful universe. Yep, 2 and ended one. Some in the chat. There's one in the chat. So yeah. So let me see if there's any crazy. Yeah, see, my Audi got it. Well, the army vet on the panel couldn't figure out that they were both military vets. I'm like, oh, okay, but yeah, they are. Everybody got it before you did, by the way. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
The number 23 is not bad. Dude, you can't put the number 23 in the same category as Ace Ventura and Dumb and Dumber.
No, number 23 is pretty good. Yeah.
That's actually they were trying to make a good movie. They were not trying to make a good movie when they made Dumb and Dumber. They literally that was the standard. They achieved the non-standard. So, but yeah, right, yeah, there you go. Right now, we poor Brad. We're not moving the needle. Yeah, I like Carrey as a Riddler. You know what? I would not have a problem with James Carrey's buffoonery if that wasn't all he ended up doing the majority of it. I think that the buffoonery cost him roles, in my opinion. I don't know for a fact because I'm not in the office where it happened. But when you make your bones and it's all you've done for the most part is those kind of characters, I think Hollywood producers and people don't take you seriously when it comes to casting things. He should have done more things or been considered for more things like Eternal Sunshine, like Truman Show, like Man in the Moon. These are things that I think up until now he should be doing. But,
it's impossible to think about Jim Carrey's career and not feel that way about, you know what I mean, certain aspects of it. I mean, hell, I think he even mentions it, because the Wayans, obviously the Wayans brothers gave him an opportunity when it came to like In Living Color and stuff that he wasn't getting from anywhere else, and so that even speaks to it, sort of his brand of humor or the way he portrayed. And I loved him in all of those movies, you know what I mean. So, but I do feel you. Like you can't look back on Jim Carrey's career and not think if he had a sort of a what concerns are we interested. Oh, well, Lanterns for sure. Yeah, I just want to know who Batman's gonna be. Who they gonna pick Batman? I guess.
I mean, and they're a ways away from casting him. But yeah, Jim Carrey, and I think it cost him a nomination because he should have been nominated for Eternal Sunshine. He wasn't even nominated. Yes. And I think when they hear Jim Carrey, they see the head coming out of the rhinoceros's ass, and then they just laugh. they just laugh him off of consideration. And I hate to say that because I think the guy has more dimensions. And I always compare him to Robin Williams. Robin Williams had the same type of slapstick beginning of his career, but he was doing things like Good Morning Vietnam. He was doing things like Awakening. He was doing things like his best movie, The Fisher King. He was doing things like Good Will Hunting. Yeah. He won the Oscar for that only because Anthony Hopkins took his from because the year he did Fisher King where he would have won. Anthony Hopkins did Hannibal Lecter and you weren't beating him.
Yeah,
but there were other movies that he could have won for, but yeah. So Jim Carrey. But yeah, you know what? For a price, like I said, I'll watch these dumbass movies. I'll watch them. I ain't doing it for free though. Brad just wanted me to do them just so he would give Superman a fair shake. I'm like, dude, that's something we're not doing big for that. Fuck that. You either give it a fair shake or not, and you're not going to. So it's like, You know, there are people from our from the Snyder side. Just some of them are just those ghosts are too heavy. They are haunted, and it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, it's I mean, you can see it all around me. He's the top, one of the top directors for me. Zach is, and at a certain point in time, it's you just sort of got to move, man. You just got to move, because if you stay stuck, then you'll never appreciate anything that comes from anywhere if it's not what you sort of have been wanting it to be for this whole time. So I don't know, man. I mean, as much as I would have loved to see, were you pissed when we were one thing? Dude, that show did end it just ended, right?
Yeah. It ended. They announced the cancellation before the end of the show.
That's
so a lot of people just didn't watch it because it was on for the app. I understand why it happened, but they should have did a better job on the research and the tax codes and all that, because it was on an app, and it was a $44 million budget to make that season. Without the tax breaks, it went up to 84, and there's no way you could justify that cost. We're not talking HBO Max. We're talking DC Universe of that. Yeah, because that Doom Patrol, all those shows were within budget. Swamp Thing, there was no way they were going to be able to make it. So unfortunately, they had to cancel the show. But
yeah.
The same way I'm not enthusiastic about a live action representation of Superman the animated series, I feel the same way about live action Batman. I'm there with you. I'm 100%. A cartoon is a cartoon, and a motion picture is a motion picture, and a comic book is a comic book. I think even if you are going to be influenced by all those things, I think these formats lend themselves to certain things that they don't lend to others. And Batman, the animated series, I'm sorry, and I don't care if you guys hate me for this. I'm just an opinion. Batman's not for kids. My Batman crushes skulls. My Batman beats the absolute fuck out of people. My Batman throws people off of buildings. My Batman sends people to the office, to the hospital with a 50-50 chance of living. My Batman uses an axe and takes an arm off a guy. My Batman adds an extra 15 or 16 punches to a guy who's already down while all his homies are watching in fear for absolutely no reason other than rage. That's my Batman. That is not something you sit some diaper wearing kid in front of with his Cheerios to watch. My Joker, greed killing joke. That's what my Joker is. To be honest with you, that's not just that's what has been established. That is a Batman. When people say, well, finally is something that's accurate from the comic and at the same side of their face, they're like, but Batman the anime, what Batman were you reading? What softcore Batman were you reading?
Yeah.
For that was your Batman. Same thing with X-Men. I'm looking at the characters that are portrayed in X-Men, that cartoon, that you know how when sometimes you know you're about to throw up, but you can kind of control the vomit from getting right to here. That's what X-Men 92 does to me. Someone who grew into comics with Chris Claremont's version, with the Marauders massacring, shooting people with shotguns at point blank, stabbing, cutting, killing, with a villain like Sabretooth disemboweling people. Every time Lady Deathstrike had to be rebuilt bionically because Wolverine ripped these people apart. Every time he releases those claws, somebody either dies or gets mortally injured. And Apocalypse, you know what Apocalypse is about? Culling people and mass exterminations. And let's take all of that. Let's make that a kid's cartoon. And I tell people, and they just come after me, I have as much use for those IPs being neutered in a cartoon as I do a G-rated Friday the 13th movie. No, that's not the same thing. Yeah, it is, because you had to transform something that was this into something to make it chewable and digestible. Like, it's not Flintstones vitamins. If you had to do that much transformation, then you just go ahead and make something new, make something that's not the X-Men or Batman. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, okay. You're just late. All right.
No, I have not seen it. And
what up, Brad?
I was going to see yes, yeah. Well, as I mentioned, I had my Krav Maga striping test tonight, so that really took a lot out of me. And of course, it ran about a little over 3 hours, and of course, by the time it wrapped up, it's like that was right when the last showtime was starting, so I wasn't going to be able to make it.
Because you live in Andy Griffith Town, so that's good. now we got 2 Georgians on here, and one of them actually lives in the city.
Yeah,
the one with the accent lives in the city.
And actually,
the one that sounds like he's from New York lives out in the sticks with the.
And actually, is yes. It's like in Atlanta, do they like what? Because ever since COVID down here in Savannah, the latest show times we get usually are 9:30. So it's just been the way it's been. So that has impacted my ability to see movies on Thursday nights. So they have it like 10:30 shows up in Atlanta with any regularity.
I'm not exactly in it. It's I'd say 35 to 40 minutes from Atlanta. Sort of northeast from Atlanta. Yeah. Yeah, but basically, yeah.
Atlanta Metro, basically.
Yeah.
Like when you turn on your TV, is it Atlanta TV?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We don't have my town did have a local news station. I'd be like, that would be ridiculous. But probably I saw it this evening at like 6, right? And I was gonna go earlier, but I had to sleep, because I had to work the night before or whatever. So and the earliest show they had was 2 p.m. Pretty close near me, and then pretty much every hour. And then my local theater, the one that's in my town, which is pretty good. They've improved themselves over the years, but they had some evening showings as well. So but I'm pretty sure there was probably one that started at like 10:30, 11 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, that's what happens.
What you think of it, man?
Yeah, what'd you think of it? Because Brad's been in a tunnel. He didn't hear your reviews or anything.
Oh yeah. Oh, my bad, man. I thought it was okay. I said 6 out of 10. If I'm grading it out of 10, crypto. Look, that's gonna always get it for me. Dog person. That was like crypto way up here for me. Way up here. Everything in the movie perfect amount. The only thing that really took me out of it was still not a fan of James Gunn's humor. At certain points when it's interjected in moments that it shouldn't be, and then the Jarrell stuff. I can't do it. My bad. Yeah, my bad.
No, don't worry, man. It's like I've had that spoiled for me pre-showing, and
the chat hasn't. I'm just trying to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that's gonna ruffle some feathers. Jarrell thing, I know.
Nice visuals. Some of the stuff still looked wonky that I thought looked wonky from trailers or whatever. Derek Cornswet was nice. I think we'll see what his next outing looks like, but he was nice.
There's room for him to grow, definitely.
Yeah, but every single actor was incredible though, as far as what they were give. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was nice in the movie. Yeah, so Brosnahan was nice. I thought the conversation from the teaser, the interview that they talk about, kind of went a little bit differently than I thought it was going to go. Kind of the same, but they sort of framed some of the shots differently, which was weird because I kind of a lot of people didn't like that when Superman was like, sort of arguing with her in that interview in that clip that we got.
We're going to die.
There's more. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah. So
okay,
but still the suit, no. The ass, no, can't do any of that. Nicholas Hoult, great. But again, I thought it's sort of the monologue after monologue of
I'm a mustache twirling
villainy. Yeah. So I couldn't a lot different from what we got in BVS as far as Lex is concerned when it comes to sort of that type of stuff.
I bought Lex in BBS. I bought his motives more than I bought Nicholas Hoult. Not any fault to Nicholas Hoult. It's just it was more stakes to it.
Mm-hmm.
Rational. Listen, we'll watch whatever you pay for. Right? The link is in the chat. Listen, if Wonder Woman 17, instead of watching Dumb and Dumber, I would
don't force me to like put me in a position where it's like
let me refresh the screen here and see if we moved on. Because it's not looking good for these movies. I think it's because subconsciously you guys don't want to be a part of these movies, and I can understand. Yep,
don't let William put words in your mouth, guys.
Look, we're at the math. We're still we haven't budged, so they don't want to see. They don't want to.
No, we already did it. We Ace Ventura already. They paid for, which means Matt is undefeated.
No, common sense has been defeated. They didn't do it because it was a good movie. They did it because they wanted to. The same reason why we watch Scary Movie. So yeah, Rational Skeptic. There's the link. I do not want to talk to you people tonight. Sorry.
So yeah, a lot of what you said.
Anthony,
a lot of what you said. That seems to be like a pretty consistent with like a lot of their reactions. Like even like a lot of people who really liked it so far are still saying it's really cartoony and really goofy and really James Gunny. And it's for better or worse, this is definitely is the Superman movie that that you would envision him making. It's interesting you say that though about Crypto, because from again a lot of the responses I've seen to Crypto, a lot of descriptions I've seen, and I'm a dog person, very much myself. I mean, I'm a dog, the kind of dog person where it's I mean, if you hurt my dog, I will go John Wick on your ass.
Yeah.
So with Crypto, it's like, but for what I've heard about it, it's like it sounds like he's kind of a pain in the ass.
No, yeah. I mean, it's literally because my wife, when she went with me to watch it, and by the way, this is man, I love the perspective because she doesn't care about none of this shit. She's not as into it as I am by any stretch. She saw the one they released that showed Superman crashing down and Crypto coming bouncing on him, and when she saw that, she was like, I might like this better than the other Superman movie you like. That's how much she likes this shit, because she didn't even know it was Man of Steel. Like I was like, you talking about Man of Steel? She's like, yeah, I might. So that's an outside, just general movie going.
He's a normie.
Yeah, exactly. So
which is like 90% of them, not more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but after we watched it, like we just because like I said, we got pets, 2 dogs, we got 2 cats in the house too, and that's dog's behavior. And I just, man, if there was one thing that I could say that he absolutely got right with this entire thing, was sort of being able to adapt Crypto to live action and keeping it a dog, but also it being a super dog, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, him flying around. There's certain things that he does in certain scenes when he flies around. There's one in particular thing towards the end of the movie that I found hilarious and I found well placed, and I won't spoil it, but you'll see it, and it's absolutely hilarious. And Superman manipulates his badass to do things that he needs him to do. Mighty Rex. Here's the thing. All right, but William, if kids don't gain interest in the franchise is bad. This is in response to kids and Batman. And here's the thing. Give you a prime example. I'll use Batman. I was a wee little one when I started reading Batman. They didn't give a fuck whether I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. They were writing Batman. In 1980, when I was 12 years old, they didn't give a shit that I was a 12-year-old. They put out, Frank Miller put out The Dark Knight Returns, whether I was 12 years old or 70 years old. Okay, when I go to see horror movies, do you think the people that made Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D gave any shit that I was like 9 when I saw that movie? No. The movie is what the movie is. The characters are what the characters are. I don't need you to cut up Jason into small pieces so that I don't choke on my food. All right. When you have to transform something into something else to make it suitable for someone else, then just make something else. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Batman the Animated Series was a bad quality TV show, but I'm like, it literally is, like I said, it has the same value to me as a G-rated slasher. Wow, we're going to do a slasher, but we're not going to show any slashing. Oh, no blood either? No, we're just going to say the people ended up dead. Oh, dead? That's too strong a word because it's on a kids network. It literally said kids, the Fox Kids network. So yeah, I think that when the next thing I see after watching, after seeing The Dark Knight, after seeing Batman 89, which is much darker than it ever would have been had it not been for what Frank Miller and John Byrne and all those guys did in the mid-'80s for that series. So yeah, when I turn around and see what I consider to be a regression, I got a problem with it. But hey, you know what? If that's that's your Batman, I don't look down on you for that. I just have a problem with it. People call me hater. Don't care. All right. What you guys listen? You all know why we're not doing an open panel. You're saying this, you are mouthing those words at your screen right now, and you know why we don't do one. So don't act like I forgot. Like I'm gonna just go ahead and click. Let's go ahead and send. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh. if some of you want to come on, I'll bring Ray on. I can't do fourth right now. I haven't eaten my dinner.
What about this guy? Or did I tell you don't commentate politics away in this movie?
Dude, I got a mask around here somewhere.
No, I've done the best I can to avoid spoilers, but I have had the one element with Jarrell that in it that Anthony's referring to. Like, that is gonna really, that's definitely gonna be controversial, and I better not ever hear anything about the maybe scene of the tornado scene again after that. Oh boy.
He does some other stuff in this movie that I'm like, all right, stop. Why can't we remember and recite things from good movies, but you guys go to a shit movie and the worst thing about that movie and one of my favorite actors and one of the most annoying. I almost got the fuck up and walked out of The Dark Knight Rises. I mean,
it doesn't bother me that much, but I feel you. But it doesn't bother me that much.
It has the dumbest. It's when he's talking, it's like, oh my god, and I have two high end actors who I really like in a movie I don't like, playing roles I don't like them in, and they both have the most irritating voices. And I'm like, when they're talking to each other, I just wanted to hurt someone. And I was like, oh my god, what am I watching? What am I listening to this here? And then you have the worst comic book death, maybe the worst death scene in any movie anywhere. You had that movie.
Oh, talking about Talia?
Yeah. The Dark Knight Rises. You look at the talent, like I tell Brad, if you listen to people that, hey, I'm making a movie with Michael Caine, I'm making a movie with Christian Bale, I'm making a movie with Tom Hardy, I'm making a movie with Gary Oldman. I'm making a movie. All of whom, the only one that's not in this movie that's not an Academy Award winner was Tom Hardy, and he's been nominated. If I told you that I'm making a movie, any movie with those people in it, and I might have given you the money right there and then. Just let me know when this movie's made. I want my seat now. So to see a movie with all that collection of people in it and to get that movie, that was such a letdown. That was such a letdown. And be honest with you, and I know people, in retrospect, the Nolan trilogy is like holy water. You can't say anything bad about it. It's the greatest thing. Nolan's a venom.
It's still pretty good. I don't know about it untouchable, but
I can touch it. I can touch it and turn it over.
Well, like one thing for me, and this is definitely my area of expertise. Again, it's like, I mean, I've said this too with like any future Batman stuff. Like after the warehouse, it's like with Batman fight scenes, it's like as Zach said, I'm down the fucking road. It's like you can't go back after that. It's like if
this man is
if you're not giving me Batman fight scenes of that caliber, doesn't cut it.
Oh, you talking about the warehouse?
Yeah.
He only talks about the warehouse. It's not like we have a variety.
The warehouse is rad.
But no, I think the Nolan trilogy, like I said, I would never watch it again if it weren't for the fact that I have a version of The Dark Knight that only has Heath Ledger's Joker in it. I cut the rest of that movie out. I don't care about the people in those movies.
I need to see. I need to see this. I need to see. Release the PAL cut. I need to see this.
Michael Caine. Michael Caine is in that movie. Michael Caine is in that movie. There's like 8 Academy Award top tier people in that movie. And actually, his speech when it's like, I promised your parents I would protect you, and I failed them. When he had that riff, that was actually the best part of the movie. But Anne Hathaway, another one, dude. You literally had the Oscars at that movie. And that's the movie you got out of that?
Yeah, but
that's
William,
the movie you got out of that?
William, it's like, why are you even signing the Oscars for like this?
Yeah, I know, but this was
the Oscars was bullshit with that
reason.
reason.
We're going at a time when I took it seriously. At the time that this movie came out, I took the Oscars seriously. I was taking them more seriously than I take them now. I hope they get better. But even without the Oscars, I know that those actors have been in movies I love.
Yeah.
You take away their Oscars and tell me that you give me this list of people, and I'm looking for an epic movie. I'm looking for a movie that can't be bad because of the people. It's impossible for that movie to be bad. That movie was bad. And like I said, people at the Nolan trilogy, and I'm like, and I tell you this, I came back from R&R. So this might have been the reason. I saw Batman Begins when I came back. So obviously there's a time difference from the hell that I came from to the hell of Vegas that I came back into. Maybe, I don't know, because I watched War of the Worlds. I watched other movies that day, and I didn't fight. I didn't struggle to stay awake. Batman Begins, no shit. I fought. You know, like when you're in that basic training and you're in one of those classes, is you're about to fall asleep. You know you're going, but you better not, because there's a fucking drill sergeant there ready to wrap that table around your neck if you fall asleep or you doze off or you got to do some stupid exercise. That's how I felt about watching Batman Begins. The pace of that movie was like, wow, man. And then to hear it like years later, this is the best. I'm like, what? No, okay. It was a thing, but no.
I still like Batman Begins, man.
And like I said, I am not knocking. If you guys like Batman Begins, I'm just telling you, I don't understand with it. I don't understand the love of that movie. You know,
I remember. Of course, I was deployed when Dark Knight came out, so like the first time I ever saw it. It's straight bootleg. That's all we can get over there. That's the only way we could watch it. And we were not.
Oh yeah.
The DVDs and
five movies on one disc, baby.
Yeah.
$5.
Yep. Yeah.
And the shit wasn't even in the theaters half the time, dude.
Yeah.
How did the little Egyptian dude in a hut out in the middle of the desert, out in the middle of nowhere, at the Iraqi-Kuwait border, get this movie, and it's not even out in the week.
Yeah, it doesn't come out this weekend.
Ghana path.
Yeah, we didn't ask questions. Well, it has to be good movies that people know about. But
they know about it because of me on this channel. Damn sure.
Yeah, and my little measly 12. Yeah, okay, that's a good way to get the word out.
Way to shit talk your 76 years right now.
I know what I am. I'm not. Hey, like and subscribe, but come on now. We know there's other people, got like 1,000 people watching them, but it's in the middle of the night. So thank you guys for being here. The whole point of Chris Nolan Batman was to make Gotham be. I understand that, and this is what I love about Matt Reeves' Batman that was the mission. Matt Reeves' Batman did it. Matt Reeves made Gotham as much a character as anybody else that's on the screen talking and walking. He did what Christopher Nolan was going for. Matt Reeves did, and that's why the Batman is my favorite overall Bat. He's not my favorite actor necessarily. He may be, who knows? But right now, it is the most complete Batman movie out there. Period. All right. So, okay, tell me. Okay, it was revision history on Guardians of the Galaxy 2 being bad. Everyone was saying Mary Poppins. I didn't. Well, listen, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed 1 and 3.
Yes.
I liked 1 and 3. I don't think it's bad, awful or anything, but I think when you compare the all of the ones in the trilogy, 1 was one of the better comic book movies I'd seen in the last 10 or 15 years. 2 was all right. It had some slogans like Mary Poppins, like but 3 was heartbreaking in some situations.
I mean, I don't really have a dog in the. I mean, I have a dog in the Guardians fight. I've always been very lukewarm on the series, which is,
it's fun. I was caught up in the maelstrom of, hey, do I have to see all these movies?
Well, I mean, it's kind of what Anthony was saying a minute ago. It's with James Gunn like putting like joke after joke after joke after joke in Guardians, and those are a bunch of characters nobody knows who they are until the movies come out. So, and I found it distracting and intrusive then with the Guardians. So it's like, oh, now you're gonna do that with the Superman movie with a character who's like far closer to my heart. Like, okay. Here we go.
It's funny too because one of the matter of fact, it's probably the best scene I've ever seen from James Gunn. In the first Guardians, it follows this joke that shouldn't even. To this day, I still kind of find it funny, and I know people that hate you dance off, bro. And it's followed by this, this scene where he's reaching out to his mom. Oh, dude, it hits for me every single time. But
I actually like that scene because that scene, that's what he does though in certain things and that's why it disappoints me sometimes because this Superman story, what he did with
didn't work.
Yeah. The problem is he made a decision. Not really a problem. It wasn't a problem because it doesn't sink the movie. He made a decision to hit the ground running. Superman's been Superman for 3 years. He didn't want to tell an origin story. That's fine. Lex has hated him for 3 years. He's been doing Lois for 3 months. Jimmy's been all these things have been happening. So there's no development there. The development is the actual point from there. So this is like his other movies, even though there weren't origin stories, I found out why Ratcatcher was the way she was. I ended up finding out why Peacemaker was the way he was. And it made me understand, and it made him as relatable as you could relate to a guy with a toilet bowl on his head. But after the I think it was the 4th episode of Peacemaker, where I was about to give up on the show, where he turns the corner and this show turns the corner. I think he's good at making you care about the characters. The only handicap here is that the characters are already developed to the point where I got to assume that I'm supposed to love Superman. I got to assume I'm supposed to hate Lex. I've got to assume that I'm supposed to care about Lois, and just based on the classic premise of that's the way things always are. Now I can do that as a dork. I can do that, but I don't know how but I guess the general public can too. So there you go. Snyder Bros. Sending your sister to Planned Parenthood. I don't want to know what that name means.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna forget.
I legitimately can't tell if this dude is an actual Snyder fan or not.
Yeah. Symptoms of
check your T levels. You may be running low. Symptoms of being a fan of Corn Sweat Superman and not the real deal. What did I say? What? No, Cabal's number 1 for me.
Yeah.
Listen, guys. Listen. Me enjoying this movie. Don't get this wrong.
See, there's where the misconception normally fucking comes in. Like I said, 6 out of 10. Like whatever. I had a good time. Me and the wife went and saw it. There's things in there that I liked. There's things I didn't like at all. But by no stretch of the imagination does that mean that I have forgotten that Man of Steel exists.
I made my peace. I made my peace with the with the fact that this is going to come in far below Man of Steel in my book. So
there's. I mean, look, man. There's a lot of things, and I think I talked about some of it when I kind of went live when I got home from the movies earlier, just for about 20 minutes.
Mike all fucked up, but hey.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that, William. My mic, my camera's mic was on and not this mic, and I didn't know it at the time. And I probably talked for 5 minutes, sound like shit, but he said 6 out of 10 is fresh.
It is. He's right.
Yeah. But no, it's I'm 48 and never been scared to tell anybody how old I am. And so for the better part of my life, there's a certain kind of Superman that I've gotten, whether it be live action and animation or in books and things of that nature. But in 2013, that shit changed, man. I got what I had sort of waited for. Because you grow up, like William said earlier, you grow up as you're not. I don't see Superman the same way I did when I was fucking 6. That's what I'm saying. So when I was 36 when Man Still somewhere around 36 or something. But anyway, I remember seeing it and thinking, holy shit. The character grew up with me, like where you know what I'm saying, like at the age I'm at now, I feel like as though this is the Superman one. So that shit rolls just like that, and so like it's probably gonna be a while before I'm impacted by the S the same way I was in 2013. Not to say this movie is trash, because it ain't. I mean, there's a lot of things I didn't like about it for sure. And there's a lot of things that I did. Crypto, let's go. Crypto, let's go. Crypto's fucking dope, man.
This movie was a fun night at the movies. I had a good time.
Yeah,
I had fun with this movie. Man of Steel was an experience.
Yeah, dude. Krypton, dude.
Still changed the way me, who I'm older than Anthony, changed the way me thought about Superman, had envisioned Superman.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was more of what I'd seen my entire life. And I'm not knocking it. People are going to say, well, no. This movie, in all the respect to James Gunn, and my preference is not Man of Steel. It's just not.
Mm-hmm.
He made decisions. He made the decisions to go with fantasy. Zack Snyder went with majesty. Neither of those are the wrong answer.
Nope.
But when you're talking about what I connect with. So I don't think I've given up my Snyder card. Now, I'm not a crazy motherfucker that's gonna like review bomb and do all the crazy stuff like that. But you will never listen. I am not relenting on my desire to see that universe resolved.
Not in a million years for me.
Yeah.
I am just, unlike some people, it's like, I tell you guys, it's like a sniper. You could have a Barrett M50, 50 cal, scope on there, range, everything. You could be able to hit a target a mile out. You know what? That's fucking useless if you don't have a target. Right now, the opportunity is not there. And I'm not saying it will never be there, because I have all faith that at some point in our lifetimes, the opportunity would be there.
Yeah.
Wait for the sign. Don't be the sniper that's out there in 150-degree heat aiming at prairie dogs because you don't have anything else to do. Be the guy that recognizes the opportunity, and when it happens, and that's it. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Snyder, bro. Even though I think you just dogged me, but thank you.
Well, again, I genuinely can't tell if this dude is a Snyder fan or a Snyder hater from this. So
sounds like he's a fan that thinks we're kind of drifting off, that we're not part of the Brotherhood. I am still. I am, but just because I am full and faithful to these snacks as I said movies. I love them, the ones that weren't meddled with. Doesn't mean that my mind is still trapped to everything else. Even if his movies that continued, if and ran their course. I'm always open to a new character. I'm just not cool with the resolution of the old one. So it's a harder road for you to convince me because, like I said, you want me to give you new money when I watched what you did with the old money I gave you. So yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. So
he gave another.
I hope it does well. The cast is great, and I'm curious to see them with other directors.
Oh, he did this one. He did this one. I'm sorry.
No,
he did another one.
Yeah,
he did another. Yeah.
Hey man, listen, guys, this is where this cult shit comes from. It's not a cult. You can bang other women, all right. You don't have to deal with any cult. You can go outside the cult. You can go. Yeah. You don't have to wear. You don't have to wear the purple tennis shoes and the robes and stuff. It's not a cult.
I think this is a guy who's like doing I think this is a hater who's like doing a caricature of what he thinks Snyder fans are.
No,
I won't give him money though. So
hey,
so thank you for that.
Thank you for the support, Snyder, bro. I actually taking you seriously. I'm not going to write you off like that. Shut up. Oh my God. Like I said, you can't make me dislike that movie anymore. But
it's just when he said Man to the Ground and Dark Superman was you made that. There's no rules how you can enjoy Superman.
Who makes those rules, babe? Who makes those rules? I've read Superman for 40 years, and I see all types. So
it's again, what was dark about that portrayal of Superman? I genuinely don't know.
What, like he snaps Zod's neck? Oh, he does that every platform that Superman's ever been in. I showed it on this show. I showed you where he murders them. He makes them suffer. He exposes them to green kryptonite. And like I said, the female Kryptonian is basically offering him to basically fuck him to spare her. I'm not kidding. That's a John Byrne thing that he did. She's like, I can pleasure you, Superman. I can give you. He's basically saying, hey, listen, fuck these other two. You see me.
Yeah.
He lets her die anyway. And then he calmly puts the kryptonite back into his little locker and scrolls off. Wow, that was a tough thing. You just murdered these people. And then Man of Steel, he's about to laser 3 people. And even if he didn't kill those people, he said, I have no cause now. I'm going to kill as many of these people as possible. He had to die the same reason why the Kryptonians always have to die every time that they come up. So, where did you read Kingdom Come? Did you read Did you read Man of Steel? The Man of Steel post-crisis.
Are you reading Absolute Superman?
Yeah, I mean, Superman. And there's what the thing when it comes to Superman is that. Bring his comment back up again. When it comes to Superman, the biggest problem is people have that they've done surgery on Superman. They've taken their tweezers and they've taken their scalpel and they've picked out. It's like me and you put pineapple on pizza. I'm gonna try to pick that shit out to salvage it, right? So that I have a pizza that I like, that I'm comfortable with not throwing up with. And that's what people do. They pick and choose. Well, I like this about him, even though there's clearly shit about here that's always been in Superman. But they want to pick the happiness and the hopeful. Yeah, that's a new fucking word. And we want to pick everything and then we mix it up and we put it in our head, and that's the Superman we love. We're going to leave behind all the stuff that's always been part of Superman, and then we want a storyteller to base their Superman on that. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that was fair for Zack Snyder. I don't think that's fair for James Gunn. I don't think that's fair for the next 50, 60 guys that ever do Superman. So, yeah.
And we got this is kind of for me, I guess. And to Brad,
listen, thanks, thank you.
No, not a haircut. Actually, if anything, it's getting pretty long now. I mean, it stands out maybe because I had to shower after my test. I really had to shower after my test. So,
thank you for the support. All I can say, Snyder Bro, is thank you for the support. I mean, what am I gonna say? Hey, fuck you. Hey, thank you. He's got an opinion. He's got an opinion.
I got a pretty full head of hair, man.
All right, let's see. I really didn't see all the hope and light in this. Listen, guys. All right. I am not a violent person unless I'm watching sports. I have destroyed whole walls during the Stanley Cup Finals. Are
you like that guy who, like, in that one viral video where, like, the basketball game's going the wrong way, and he, like, throws his remote at the flat screen, like, takes it off and trashes it because he loses the bet?
I've destroyed a TV or two. Okay, here's the thing, though. This hope and optimism, you guys have turned hope and not you guys in general, but the general public. Some of these people that are commenting, they're acting like hope and optimism has never been in Superman movies. Every single Superman movies, even the dumb ones, have had the same hope and optimism.
Yeah,
you just didn't see it. It wasn't maybe the cartoonish way. It wasn't the things that you compositely put in your minds. So it's not, but every single one of them has Man of Steel. The man just saved the world and is now being looked upon as somebody who can be relied. That last scene where he was with the general when he takes down the drones, And here's the thing. We want this hot pocket. We want this instant hot pocket, the completed version that is the Superman that's between our ears. That's what we want to see. We never want to let the guy telling the story to actually tell a story. How do we know if those movies don't get meddled with, what kind of Superman we end up with? He could have been the one that you guys have been going gaga over forever. Finally, I can hear the quotes now if they'd have got a chance to continue. Finally, he's a Superman. I can hear it now. But we never got to that point. So that Zack Snyder's Superman is frozen in time because of meddlesome people, all of whom have been fired, and fans who really wanted to impress their childhood Superman onto our adult world. Here, like I said before, I'm happy for you guys who had your childhood. I'm happy you had a great childhood. I don't give a fuck about your childhood. And you know what? You shouldn't give a fuck about mine. Our childhoods should not dictate modern storytelling. We close out everybody when we do that. You want my version is me watching 6-year-old me with Christopher Reeves. Is that what you want in 2025? You think that's what you want, but because we're not skilled writers, we just throw shit out there. So the hope and optimism, I'm almost having to mute those words.
Yeah.
It's hopeful and optimism. It's just like Superman should be. The people writing Superman know how Superman should be. We're fans.
Yeah.
All right. The people writing don't pick and choose. We're picking and choosing, like I said, a non-existent Superman that only exists in some people's mind. Because this Superman that they've been looking for, it didn't even exist on this screen that I just watched. If you're being honest, that's some dark shit.
Yeah.
It starts out with some dark shit. All right.
Yeah.
Lex does some dark shit, and one in particular acting like, okay, where's your hope and optimism here?
Yeah.
He gives a speech that's like ill-placed, but there's just the same level of hope and optimism in all of these Max Fleischer, all of these Supermen. But this is the first movie that has hope and optimism in it. I'm like, shit, stop it.
Yeah, that's that especially for something like that with a character like Superman. That shit is up for your own interpretation as far as what is hope. You know what I mean? And I just, because those words have been turned into like straight weapons against the other movies, or they you know what I mean. And it's I put like any sort of review that I even spoiler free before I saw it, that I even intended to watch. As soon as I saw finally we got done with that one, let me move on to the next one, because I'm not about doing that, because dude, one of the most hopeful scenes I've seen, if I'm being real honest, and right at the end, it could be, and I love it because so many people, Superman, man, Henry Cavill don't smile, bull fucking shit. I seen him grin ear to ear at the end of Man of Steel when he said, "Nice to be here, Lois," and it was fucking great. And the score hits hard as fuck right after that. bam, bam. Yeah, it just hit. So
he literally said his S met hope.
Yeah.
Did y'all miss that? Did you miss that?
One of my all time, one of my like, I mean, this might be my single like all time favorite like cinematic Superman moment is the final battle in Pajarna with Steppenwolf. Not impressed.
Oh,
it's that like that.
That was hope. That was hopeful. What does the word mean?
And then
that doesn't helpful.
And then the axe clangs on his shoulder and he mops the floor of Steppenwolf. I mean, I remember like first time watching the movie. It was a couple days before it came out. I mean, I mean, my jaw hit the floor.
We never got a chance to see that in the cinematic universe. Zack Snyder's Justice, they came after everybody had wiped their ass with the movie. Yeah. So that's fun. Yeah. No, you are not. Listen, neither one of those guys are bad actors. I just, it just felt like he was reading from a script. Yeah. And his cadence, there's the word. His cadence when he talked really threw me off because it was just rolling. Like I don't know if that was by design, but I really had high expectations for him, and it'll probably get better. This is not the last time we're going to see him. Anything that I didn't like in this movie, the movie was good enough to give me more time to like it. So yeah, it's just give me the lanterns, but just get me to the next step. Let me know that I'm not wasting my time with this movie, and don't panic over the box office. If it's 200 million worldwide, that's fine. That's fine. I say it if it lost money, but if you got all the critics critics, whatever, and the audience scores and all that, if you guys are using that as your barometer and these are all good, there you go. Good enough. You made an investment into a positive step. Next step, I don't really care what this movie makes. And then I don't want to hear people and my fellow Snyder fans, it's not some victory if this movie doesn't make as much as Man of Steel in the first weekend. It's not 2013, guys.
Yeah, well, I told William this offline though. It's like, but I'd still rather it didn't because I don't want to because you just know the guns little disciples are going to beat us over the head with that if it does. Listen, it's not like they're not taking every opportunity right now. So if if I had my preference, yes, this would.
Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Am I right? I'm right-handed.
Okay, so right now. I want you to reach down, and there's this little thing that I invented and I sent out to the world. It's called a mouse, and it has clickers and shit on it. And when you roll up and down any social media, you just this magic button, and you can click on it, and these people go away.
But it's not just social media. It's in editorials. It's in. I mean, you
can is somebody dude? Is somebody getting past Murphy the dog and your alarm system and sneaking in and putting you in a headlock and opening your eyes saying "fucker"? Read it, damn it! Read it.
But the dog gets it. Mute everything to survive this movie's opening weekend.
Yeah, but you know what? Why not? I mean, you shouldn't have to, but it's a decision. It's like you don't have to spare air freshener when somebody farts in a room, but it's probably good to do, so that you can...
but they could have also practiced some self-control. I mean, it's like the thing I said about the whole baiting stuff.
They could. I agree. They didn't.
The people who doing the bait, it's like, yeah, it's one thing we hate the bait, but it's like if they put out the bait, it's like, can they get scolded too, please?
Nah, why even waste your brain power? They're sucking your soul every time you go into this shit, dude. They're like vampires, dude. They got their teeth around and they're like, here's another one. Let me suck some more life. He hasn't been through enough with having his franchise fucked up. Let's suck some more life out
with
there.
The discourse around this, it's like you could mute every word in the English language and it would still find its way onto your timeline.
I've been sailing clean. I muted Superman and my life was like,
I did too. And look what happened. And it didn't improve it for me at all.
Yeah, but you actually put out articles and shit that really like bear traps. It's like, I'm going to mute you, but here's this bear trap. Oop, watch out. Did you just get caught in my trap?
I mean, like when I had the audacity to say the gun knew what he was doing when he took a picture with Zack Snyder.
I mean, what's that supposed to
mean? You couldn't pay me to lie and say that I didn't believe that there's a reason why that fucking episode of Rick and Morty dropped this past Sunday night.
Yeah, I told him that. I told him because they're promoting the movie.
Yeah. It had no way that aligns like that. We're fortunate to see some things, but not lining up like that. That was crazy.
Yep. Wow, I'm reading this in Rhea's chirpy voice. Wow, wow, damn.
Well, and this is one of Rhea's shorter ones, by the way, because again, she will like in the comments, she can write. I mean, again, like I said, like my line of work literally is like it involves words every day. It's like it's typing words, and she like can run circles around me in the comment section.
As far as how fast you type.
Yeah.
I think when you're talking about box office too with this one, you know, in 2013 there wasn't a behemoth 2 weeks on the horizon, bro. Like there's a the Fantastic Four is going to crucially clap everybody's box office, I'm guessing, at least for a week when the time comes. So
I'm hearing good things about it too, and I'm like,
I can't wait.
Popcorn bucket has been secured.
Oh,
my
you
popcorn bucket
online?
has been secured. No, I made it.
Where's
I made
where's that kid
today.
that you like? You
I did not have to steal it from a kid. I did not. By the way, I wasn't going to steal it from him. Technically, if you compensate somebody, you're not really stealing. Because I was gonna. My original plan before it was $80. Before this, when I thought it was gonna be about a $35, $40 thing, and before I found out how big it was, it's gonna be like, hey, if these sell out, I might have to take this from you. But here's some money. Whether you take that money, there's a transaction.
Here's my that's
Julia Garner.
Yeah, Julia Garner. And my father-in-law, he knows how much I like that show Ozark, and that's her character Ruth from it. And he made me a coaster out of it. I'm never gonna put a cup on that shit. I love that coaster.
Oh man, she looked in the Silver Surfer, Evan Galactus in it. So I got the popcorn bucket. I will be in San Diego. We don't know if we're doing a pre-screening. They're still up in the air. If we do, it'll be on Monday the 21st. So I might see it, but then again, I'd probably see it again in San Diego because just seeing a movie in San Diego. So I can't wait. And I think Fantastic Four, it might do one of two things. It might cut into it because it's the same demographic. It's that same family demographic. You can take a family to Superman, no problem. There's a scene you might have to cover their eyes under. Mm-hmm. I think there's nothing in Fantastic Four that a kid won't. I mean, that kid. I think Fantastic Four is more comfortable. So I think Fantastic Four is going to make a lot of money. I've been waiting for this movie for years, so I cannot wait. No, okay. Difference between this movie is that Gunn brought the viewer into the DC instead of bringing the DC into our world, which is refreshed because Marvel formula is getting gold. That's fine, and then, like I say, he made some decisions here to make his storytelling apparatus fit what he was doing. I personally, it's an interesting decision to make, but at the same time, I think certain characters are hurt by it. Lex is hurt by it. I mean, you really fucking hate this guy, and there's the build up to that hate is like you just tried to explain it for 3 years. I hate metahumans, but I hate him more, and it's stupid. I'm like, okay, I just don't feel it, dude. I just don't feel it. I mean, you know, I'd be honest with you. If in all due respect to two-time Academy Award winner Gene Hackman. As a grown man, I hate his Lex Luthor. I love him, and when he do Crimson Tide, I can still hear that man. We don't have time to fuck around. They're launching the Russians and shooting up their missiles.
I made a decision. I've done it.
Yeah, I'm the captain. I was like, man, that is dude. That movie. I was actually just thinking. I'm watching that movie with a Master Chief in the Navy. My uncle, like James Powell. James Powell Jr., a Master Chief, who has been on every type of naval military vehicle and knows every protocol. We all knew that this movie was bullshit, but we were locked in. The Crimson Tide and Gene Hackman and that movie is just brilliant. But as Lex Luthor, I didn't feel it. Yeah, I felt it as a kid, but I outgrew him real quick.
I was actually thinking about that today. Kind of level setting myself going to the movie tomorrow. And I mean, this would probably get me crucified in a lot of Superman fandom circles. Like the only of the original four, like the Superman 2 is the only one I regularly revisit, and it's the only one I think still holds up at all.
It doesn't hold up, but I still revisit it. It's aged.
And that's the frustrating thing about Singer and a lot of reactions I've heard done this fixation, a lot of it, and I'd even throw Patty Jenkins a little bit as far as what you do with Wonder Woman 84. There's so many filmmakers just have this urge to just kind of recreate 78, and it's watch it. I mean, the movie. Christopher Reed, I mean, he's iconic as Superman, but the original movie is aged horribly. Sorry.
I mean, when I can still see your cables and the way you're flying, and then I look at this movie and I'm like,
what's funny? It's not even a matter of that, as much as it for me, it's just a lot of the tone and Phil even said he was really hoping. Apparently, it seems like this is thankfully it's not the case that he was going to lose it if Lex shouted Miss Tessmacher.
Oh, that was Phil. Yeah, he was going to go crazy. He didn't like the movie at all.
Oh, he went
not like that movie
in his review.
Yeah, 44-minute review, and he did not like. But he gave.
You talking about Phil?
Oh yeah.
I did. I was gonna watch it, and then this was before I saw it, and then I heard him mention spoilers, so I stopped it before. I was like, okay, let me wait till I see it before I watch his.
He described it,
but he messaged me and told me he did not.
I probably watched it. He's like. He described it as this is 78 Redux with in this part made me laugh. A smidge of Western Peace, just a smidge.
Wow, and I heard that, and I'm like, okay. Hey, Dark Knight. One big problem I had with Superman is that they felt a constant need to tell you how just. I didn't get that from James Gunn. I got that from the people who reviewed the movie. I got that atmosphere from the people who. Like I said, they got that composite Superman in their head, that foil Superman in their head from their childhood, and what made them, they've picked everything that made them feel good, and they've rolled it up into Pee Wee Herman's foil ball, and now that's what they have. So I didn't necessarily get that. I mean, he may have done things that made it be, but I think as far as like vocalizing it, I think that's more of the people who, like I said, some of them didn't like Snyder's movies, and some of them just want to take aim at us because they have no soul, they have no life. These movies and this fight between us has become their identity. I need you guys to move on to something better. I need you to find happiness in your life. Get a dog, get a turtle, get a woman, get a toy, whatever it is that fills the void in your life that is causing you to come after Snyder fans, not just the extremists, for anybody. And I'm only sticking it to the cultists. I'm like, no, you're not, because you only use that word in your first sentence, and then you're sticking it to everybody else who enjoyed this movie. So yeah, whatever. Is that a cuss word from here? Hawkgirl, I didn't like her. I'm sorry. That screaming at the end, I'm like, oh no,
yeah, that was fucking weird. Honestly,
she just looked awkward to me.
Yeah, Mercedes, she's a great actress. No, take nothing away from her, but yeah, not enough of her. And like what? I got sort of, I heard what you were talking about, William, a couple nights ago, where it's like, yo, this is just introduction to these characters. We'll probably get more backstory from them. And I think both of them, they're in Peacemaker, right? Season 2.
So is Master Lord, who I didn't see in this movie.
Well, there was a clip of him.
Was there a clip? I didn't.
There was a news clip. There was a news clip of him.
Yeah,
Gotcha. There's a news clip of him. Yeah. That shit was weird, man. I can't say I understand where that came from at all. She was. Somebody in the chat said it a while ago. Said, "Wait, she was screaming like a real hawk."
She was. That's what she was doing. It was actually a hawk, and I'm like,
I really dug Hawkman and Black Adam. So she's actually going to be kind of interesting for me.
Yeah,
I don't like her costume. Her costume looked weird. It just looked like it didn't.
Yeah, and his costume looked phenomenal, Black Adam.
Yeah. Dude, I like all the Black Adam costumes. To me look good. I don't know. As far as like just the way they looked from like especially when they had them on and stuff. Like I dug Black Adam's suit for sure. This is still my crush though. I know of Tyrone Maxey. I've never watched or listened to his show. What is he like? I haven't.
He's the guy who he ends his reviews by saying 10 million subscribers, woo.
Okay.
He was really popular a few years ago, especially when the BVS campaign was going on with the market.
Okay.
Like he did some trailer reactions.
Oh, I know. Okay, I know who.
Go back. He had a pretty funny reaction when the Snyder Cut was officially announced. He's pretty funny. Yeah.
But I think I hadn't watched any of his stuff in like recently or whatever. But I don't know, especially from what something he said about Superman too. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen, as a matter of fact, in the last 2 days, I've seen a lot of talk about him, like just in general on the timeline.
Okay. I don't know why he doesn't come up on mine, because we were going to say I think we have a lot of same mutuals.
Well, I know he. Look, this is Danielle no longer. If you try to clown on him on any kind of social media with a clip of his stuff, he'll copyright you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't do that anyway. I feel like I should know him more than I do given these things, but I don't. I'm jealous. I want to hang out with Rhea. You probably get Rhea arrested, man. You're a troublemaker. You're a bad influence. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, come down to San Diego. We'll be down, dude. You don't have to have a pass to get in con. There's a crap load of stuff that we're that are out there on the fringes. I mean, there are people I know that didn't get a Comic-Con pass. They're going to spend all 4 days out there hanging out, and that sounds silly, man. The list of shit to do off-site is its own Comic-Con. So
I'm sure whenever they have like Dragon Con, it's in Atlanta. I think it's in September. I hadn't been in a few years, but that's you don't even have to have access to any of the inside stuff. You can just walk the streets, and there's so much shit going on. So I can only imagine for something like San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna have to make time for it. I mean, I will not be sleeping very much, not for the reasons last year's reasons, but because I'm gonna be
Rhea says she'll visit Bill's neck of the woods.
She'll definitely come to you. She'll be, hey, I'm here to Vegas, and bam, she's there. Rhea's got like a private jet with an R on it, and she just pops up in there. She's out there with Max, and she's come out. She's visited me a couple of times.
She's got one of them pocket universes, bro. From the
it's like a Stargate. It's like a Stargate show come in there. I don't care. Let's see. I'm just seeing some of the relevant. I want to see Hawkgirl and Jon Stewart in relationship. I don't want to see this Hawkgirl and Jon Stewart. I don't know, man. I Justice League Unlimited. No, he's already taken a lot from that stuff. I don't. I want to see any more cartoon stuff. Let's see. Rhea's Invisible Jet. Yeah, he's invisible, like Wonder Woman. All right. So 90 of you watching right now over all of our platforms, and it's evenly split. Usually it's Twitter. It's Twitter the majority. Nah, we got it evenly split this week. It's been a lot of people. You guys love, like, subscribe, and like I said, you don't want me eating crackers and mustard for Comic-Con. You want me eating things like this. So contribute to the fun that will end up in me watching two of the dumbest movies
come on, guys.
ever see the light of day.
Oh yeah, I gotta tell you, Brad. Yeah, I told William earlier. I was like, "Hey man, I love those movies, man. I can't even hate on it." He's like, "God damn."
Best Dumb and Dumber, best toilet scene of all time.
The fact that you have to say that, say that is just on levels of dumb that just should not exist.
I mean, just the fact that he thinks he thinks he's going on like a hot date.
Oh yeah.
Someone tells him, "No, dude, you got to go number 2."
What makes you guys think have I drank any liquor? Have I popped any pills? Have I done anything that would make me lose my mind and have this is why your ass is not getting on the open panel. Shit like this. Like this. Rhea, do you want to come on? I'll bring Rhea on. Listen, I'll bring Rhea. She's always gonna say no. She's gonna say no because I don't. It's 12 o'clock. I don't look good right now, or something like that.
Has Rhea seen it?
Rhea has seen it. Okay.
You thought Tyrone Madness was Exhibit? Yeah, he does kind of look like Exhibit.
Yeah, we went over Brad's infatuation with not wanting to see hold on, what's this?
But by the way, I know this discussion is weeks behind, but hey man, Ballerina was fire, dude. Like, hey man, that I think my favorite kill, and I've seen it a million times since because people clip it. But when she puts the grenade in dude's shit and jumps over the table, and he blows his fucking head
off, into smithereens.
Yeah,
that's when I saw that. I gotta look back at the I thought like 4 or 5 times. I am the biggest John Wick fan you're ever gonna meet. I love the shit out of Ballerina. That is my number 1 for this year as of right now.
Yeah, that's pretty. The Ballerina's pretty dope, man. I can never get enough of gratuitous and also I think I heard they're never gonna run out of ways to kill cats, and that's part of the reason why I will continue to come back to any John Wick films is because I want to know, how y'all gonna kill some cats this time? Yeah. How y'all gonna blow some? Yeah, kill some people in this one. It's great.
I mean that flamethrower scene alone was like it was It was. I've not seen fire like captured that magnificently.
Yeah.
In a long,
she
long,
kills
long
people.
time.
She kills people in ways.
Oh,
that,
she
you know,
takes
that
out 500 dudes easy in this movie.
I still want. How much did that movie end up making? Dark Knight. Listen, we may do a panel, but it's gonna be select in like a couple. Like the last time we did it, we brought in people for 5 minutes, and then wherever you were at 5 minutes, bam, next person, bam. I don't think I can have a screen full of you guys ever again. We saw how that went. I don't think that's good for any of us. But I will bring some of you guys on Saturday when we talk to spoilers. Saturday's going to be a packed show.
What time are we going to be Saturday?
It might be 11. It might be 11 or 11:30. I don't know.
That's fine. I got some time this weekend. My wife does have to work, so she'll be. Ray, the Atlanta Aquarium is fire. Pretty dope. I hadn't been in a couple of years.
Don't you just go bounce at the strip club with no shirt on? I'm sorry, sir. Please don't touch the girls. You're in the champagne room, and you're in the champagne room saying, "Sir, put your hands back on the chair."
Anthony, you know what else is fire? Ballerina, literally was fire.
Yeah, no, it was dope. It was dope. Yeah. Again,
how much did that movie make? Hold on, because that movie
it did like 120. So it's like, but I had a feature I did on comic book.
It did its budget though, didn't it? It did its budget.
Yeah, it didn't cost.
Well, because I had a feature I did on comic book where I talked about like really, I sort of said like the best way to sort of look at the financials of this is compared to the first John Wick, because this is introducing this is not like one of like the supporting characters getting a spinoff. This is a whole new character, so they're really having to do this from the ground up. That said, I mean, William has been kind of talking about like what contributed to this movie, this movie not doing like standard kind of John Wick numbers, whether it's either, it's like one or two things, either like people just, people are reticent to female-led action movies, or whether it's just the franchise itself is just so that John Wick is so essential to it, like without him in the as a centerpiece that kind of really, it's not able to take off, as financially powerfully as it normally does. And I thought about it more, William. It's like I may write something on this. It's because I'm comparing it to like Furiosa and like other ones. I think it may be the former. I think it's more so the former about like women leading action movies. Because and listen, I mean, I'm not taking myself out of the equation. I mean, I've got I've had to battle that perception in my own head of like watching. It's like, oh yeah, well, watching like Charlie's Angels is a good example. Like I mean, those are, because with those, like you go in with the perception of it's like it's these chicks are like taking out men 3 times their size, with like minimal training and so I'm not immune to that.
They're doing that in ways that acceptable, and that's always been bought in Hollywood. And Charlize Theron was right. She made a quote the other day. It's about it's really hard for people to buy into female, and people to get female-led action movies to get a shot. And she's been in several of them. Yeah. So and like I said, the thing about Furiosa is if you do the math on Mad Max Fury Road, and you look at the viability of a sequel, you should have said no. They got caught up in the acclaim and the Academy Award nominations and all that stuff that was going on in there. But if you mathematically looked, there was not enough growth in that audience to make another movie for the type of money that they spent on it. There was no potential for the type of growth, especially without the main people. Anya Taylor, she's a great actress, but she wasn't Charlize Theron. And
no
now,
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, no Tom Hardy. So not only did you take a movie, Mad Max Fury Road, how much did that even make?
It wasn't that big. I don't think it was.
It did like 370 something.
Yeah, I mean, but look, both the movies I absolutely love Mad Max and Furiosa. Both of those fucking movies fucking rock, man. But no, I agree. It's I was surprised that we were getting Furiosa when it got announced. Because of I remember Mad Max Fury Road not being,
it's an expensive movie to make, by the way.
Yeah.
That was 100 for that type of movie. That movie cost about 185 million. It pulled in 380 worldwide, which means take away the 35% that we get here in America, take away the 50% or more that they get in the foreign countries. Because when you say global box office, right, it's a cool number, but you got to realize in China gets the lion's share. We get some money, but China gets the lion's share of that. And here, 35%.
Yeah, you need to like really if you break out big time in China if you as far as like if you're trying to turn a profit there. And that's why like Man of Steel, BVS, and Aquaman all did gangbusters in China, and so they were able to actually like make like actual money back from that.
So where was the math that told you let's do Mad Max Furiosa or from the world? Where was the math? Now with John Wick, it's different because you had escalation. You had enough of a fan base that was built in the world with John Wick. So if you could go by that logic and with him in it a little bit, but I just think that the type of violence that makes John Wick popular is not the type of violence that a lot of people are comfortable seeing a girl do. When people, I am too, but when people say, well, this and somebody, I think we were on screen with somebody who was bringing up a whole bunch of female-led movies. That's not relevant. Female-led movies that have action in them are not somebody doing violence that was basically trademarked by John Wick, and now it's a woman doing it. Mm-hmm. There's a big difference. You're asking those same people who should have been there for this movie to accept the type of violence that he does and have 5'5" Ana de Armas do it, even though she does it. She literally does it. But they can't get that into their heads, and I think that hurt that movie. And the fact, like I said, that I don't think the franchise has legs if Keanu Reeves is not it's 75% or more on the screen. And I hate saying that because the movie was good. So
yeah, it was fucking dope, man.
I don't know what your obsession is with him, but
I think it's gonna probably like find its make up its audience and without it's not streaming. Because again, that's right. That's why I made the comparison to the original John Wick, because the original John Wick was not a runaway hit.
No, yeah. it took time for it to build up, and it's at its best is what 500 million, maybe. What's its highest one?
Best one was
4.
Like
450. So we're talking about a franchise that has under $500 million. Granted, it's profitable, but when you take into account everybody that gets a piece of that money, then you got to start, thinking, like I said, that's why everything's a race to get to streaming. That's why these greedy bastards, what they do, will drag that film kicking and screaming into PVOD. Because if you look at the small print on all the owners and people, the stakeholders in PVOD, they sound and look an awful lot like some of the people. You just go look at HBO Max and go look at Paramount and you're going to see some really familiar names on there. And that's where they get their money from. And then when they get it to their own platform, it's a retention tool because even though growth as a streamer is important, retention is even more important because it's a stabilizing factor that you can say to your shareholders, hey, we may not be growing, but we're not losing, and you can count on this as 3 or 4, $2 billion a month that we're giving you on streaming. And if we grow a little bit, guess what? That's in the right direction. But if I put Sinners, if I'm about to HBO Max, there's really nothing. Sinners comes on, guess what? I might forget to cancel my subscription. I'm watching Sinners now. And that's what the game is. It's getting you to stay on. And that's why you're going to see Netflix and all these streamers. Netflix is going to go away eventually from that bulk thing. They're going to start breaking things up. And it's already happening with Stranger Things. They did it the last time, and they're going to do it. They're going to break it up into parts because that conversation lasting longer and that subscription lasting longer. But yeah, that's why these movies in their box office, it's tough to analyze it because so many people, and if you're like a Nolan movie, that he gets like 20 million off the top before anybody else gets anything.
Yeah.
So his movie and his movies don't always make like Tenet. Tenet lost money for Warner Brothers, not for Nolan. Nolan got paid.
Mm-hmm.
He forced that movie into the theaters when at a bad time, and Warner Brothers said okay. And,
and they tried. He should have worked on that sound, man. Oh man, I got that shit. I have Tenet on physical, and that the loudness sort of shakes the shit on the walls in the house.
Yeah, they're doing it with Sandman for other reasons too, because they're just trying to wash their hands of Sandman, which is a damn shame because it's a great show.
Yeah,
it could have continued.
Seen the second season yet, but the first one was great. Yeah.
it could have continued until Neil Gaiman got his whatever he did in order. He doesn't need to be. He wasn't caught. The story's already made. The Sandman seasons, the next 5 seasons of Sandman were already written because they're literally adapting them from the comics. So I don't need Neil Gaiman anymore. It's, he could be an executive producer in name only. You didn't have to shut the show down because of all that.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad, I'm ready to watch Sinners for a 5th time. It's on HBO Max now.
Yeah, man.
It's on HBO Max.
Fire.
Yeah, I loved it. All right, 94 of you watching. Like, subscribe, share the gospel. As soon as Brad comes back, we're going to give this a proper send off to this stream. I don't want to do it with him off screen because that's disrespectful. Even though
I heard you were like, okay, now we're wrapping up the stream. Okay.
All right. Well, that's it. Wow, 2 hours, 30 minutes on a weekday stream. Holy shit. Oh, hey, we got to do something. Hold on. I forgot about the REd Sonja trailer. It's time to get demonetized. I
appreciate y'all having me. I'm glad I was off tonight. We're able to jump on here, man.
I legit thought you were going to do it. Like I said, you're just going to come out and just be like flexing and doing it on an elliptical or something like that. Who's putting out this movie? I want to find the actual. I don't want to do. There's so many people who have cut up trailers. I want the one that's actual. Hold on. Who's putting out REd Sonja? They got a panel coming. I know. I got to make the choice between going on.
Yeah. His first acting role since he left acting because he was about to get murdered on the streets. That Gleason kid who played Joffrey in Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah,
his first return to acting was Sandman season 2. I think I've seen that somewhere. Yeah.
All right. He did.
He was about to get murdered on the streets, man. People hated his ass.
he did such a great, and it's the same thing for what's his face too. For the guy who played Ramsey.
Yeah.
Right,
yep.
All right. I don't think this is official one, but I can't find the one on here. So, all right, here we go. Share screen, and then we'll wrap up tonight. I think this is the right one. There we go. Damn it! Fuck StreamYard, man. StreamYard, you need to be paying me. Fucking up my streams. Here we go.
Sonja, the earth is bleeding.
And grant me the power to find those who did this.
Why are you here?
To see my people again is all I dreamed of.
I like this one. Very, very feisty, eh?
He wants us to fight, or we both die. Someone has to make a stand. Nothing but death awaits us. I will do what damage I can.
You know what, Red? You are quite the woman.
You think that your gods can stop me from conquering the world beyond?
Or it won't just be the Acadians who suffer. It will be every tribe, every people who defy him. I am here to fight!
You and all of your kind are relics from the past. I am the future!
It's now or never.
Do you choose death?
Never.
You can have this and these.
And that protects.
Nothing. The crowd will love it.
At least that movie's honest about what it is.
Oh, that's
hot chicks.
Awesome.
Hot chicks fighting.
Yeah.
And when I sell REd Sonja at the store, you look at those covers, there's the appeal.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of kick-ass fighting in there, a lot of blood, a lot of blood cut up. I don't know how well it's going to do. I mean, it has all the elements to do well. I know a lot of people are going to be like, this is misogyny and all this. I'm like, you know what? REd Sonja has been around for 50 years, and people have been buying it. It comes from that Boris Vallejo. It comes from that fantasy genre, and that's part of it. But it's not just a hot chick fighting. She looks like she's on a mission here. So it's a ballerina, but with medieval weapons. So that's a fancy weapon. So I hope it does better. How much did it cost them to make this movie?
It doesn't say. I got the Wikipedia page up. It doesn't say what the budget was.
What's the? It's got to be rated R. There's no fuck.
If
I see PG on this, then I want the court to just take down PG-13.
Yeah,
just go ahead and take down PG-13.
Oh, let's see a couple of heads roll.
This is back in the day where you would make Conan and Beastmaster, and then like 10,000 sword and sorcery movies came out, and they all had one thing in common: half naked or completely naked women, and a big burly buff dude with a sword, and an evil magician and an evil king. They all had the same thing, and you know what? They were all successful, dude. Especially when VHS came, the direct-to-VHS market started. You'd hear you'd see one make the movies in the theaters, and then like the other 19 straight to video. You'd walk into the video store and be like, "They made 19 of these." Like in a row, and I'm like, yeah, and the covers the same thing. The chick's covering up her boobs and at the knees of the big buff dude with the sword, and then all you need to do is change the face, and it wasn't even that dude; it was a painting of that dude with the actor's head stuck on top of it. They didn't hide anything, and so this looks like straight to Tubi. Wow, damn. I don't think that's gonna go bad. But yeah, they got a panel. I got to see if the Trauma panel lines up with that, because I really want to go to the REd Sonja panel, but Trauma's bringing me in, so I might have a conflict there. But I do want to go see it. All right, guys. Please like, subscribe. Good discussion. Thank you, Anthony, for coming on and not trying to make me feel like a puny human to try to flex. Thank you for not wearing a tight shirt to try to make me and Brad feel like like we're not on your level. So I was completely expecting. I had you in the back, and I'm like, all right, well, all right, sure. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. What's it, tomorrow, Friday? I may not be around tomorrow because I got a lot of stuff, so I won't be on the vodka stream. I don't think, because I got a dinner I got to be at. But I will be back Saturday. Right now, the plan is to go late on 11:30. But if my plans clear up, if I get enough stuff done on Friday, I will be on regular. We got a full show. There's a lot of this show. We're going to be up all fucking night if I start at 11, because we're going to be covering John Byrne's run on Superman. We are going to be covering George Reeves' Superman. We're going to have a spoiler discussion of this movie that all but Brad has seen yet, but there's still a lot of people that haven't seen it.
I will have seen it by then.
We'll have seen it by Saturday. We have there's a couple of things that I sent myself emails about to make sure that I didn't forget, because I hate getting to the John Byrne. Oh, Max Fleischer's Superman, George Reeves, John Burns. So it's going to be a Superman centric show, appropriately so, because these last shows before the end of this week, I'm getting all the Superman out of my system, because it's Galactus is coming.
Yeah,
and my mental energy is
a couple weeks.
Is a couple of weeks, so we got to start promoting that one. So and we might cover, not only will we cover John Byrne's run on Superman, we're going to cover John Byrne's run on Fantastic Four, because there you go, there's your bridge. So this is going to be a lot show. As far as open panels, I might bring individuals on, sane individuals that won't torpedo my show. We'll probably get a couple minutes, and so look forward to a full show no matter when it starts. Hope I can give and we're gonna Wrestling Geek. I got a lot of wrestling, because WWE, who claim that AEW is nothing but a bug on their windshield, have spent a lot of money to be everywhere AEW is this weekend. So that's one big bug.
Aren't they they're in Atlanta this weekend, right?
Yeah, so we have All In, which is AEW's biggest pay-per-view, and what WWE's done, they've done Evolution, and which is their women's main event, and then they've gone and done a Saturday night main event with Goldberg going up against 9,000-year-old Goldberg is going to be going up against Gunther in a match that I don't think he's going to win. But they did that. They're doing counter programming against AEW, which kind of starts to tell you where AEW is right now. They're on the rise. So we're going to talk a lot of wrestling. This might be like an 8-hour stream I'm gonna have to take a break in the middle of my own stream, but I'm afraid if I do that and I turn over Brad,
we'll make the show better. We talk about.
We're talking to REd.
Awesome.
I'll come back. I'll come back with 9. We'll have like we have like 91 viewers.
We'll have William decide.
I handed it over to Brad. I'll come back with 9 out of 91 viewers. So yeah, we can't do that. So I'm just gonna have to have some.
That's total projection on William's part.
Yeah, it's total math on my.
It's total projection. Total projection.
All right, guys. Please like, subscribe. Have a nice day.
All right, see you guys.
Peace out.